For the past few years, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington have been meeting regularly for a series of pointless conversations. This is one of them.
Testing. Is that all right? Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And the little round-headed buffoon that is Carl Pilkington.
All right.
What is art? It's a very broad term.
It's a very difficult one as well.
Well, let me throw that question over to Carl Pilkington.
What do you want to know?
Well, we were just trying to clarify what art is.
It's just something for your eyes to look at.
Right.
It's just a change from the norm, innit? I mean, that's why I think most people have it. But then, the problem is, I'd never buy a piece of art. I don't see the point in buying something, because I know that my eyes will get bored of it eventually.
Right.
Have you got much art in your house?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it gives me pleasure, and I don't get tired of it, I don't get bored
Do you
of
look
it.
at it every day?
Well, it's there, isn't it? It just adds
Yeah, but other things
a
are there.
pleasure to
Dust
it.
is there, but...
Surprisingly, I've not compared
I think
art
I've
to dust as often as I perhaps should. But the thing about, and this I think may be intriguing to you, Damien Hirst, of course, is more of a conceptual artist like Tracy Emin, and a lot of what contemporary art does is followed on from a guy called Marcel Duchamp, who I'm sure you're familiar with. Now, he famously took a gentleman's white urinal like you'd find in a pub toilet, and he put it on its side, and he signed it with a fake name, and he put it in an art gallery. Now, he did that in about 1917, perhaps a bit later.
It just annoys me, because there'll be snobby people who haven't got a clue, and they're looking at that and they go, oh yeah, see what he's trying to say.
Well, that might make them think. They might.
Damien Hirst, I don't feel angry with Damien Hirst, really, because he's getting away with it.
But why does that annoy you?
Because it's people falling into the trap. Damien Hirst, before he dies, I bet he goes, what a laugh that was. I had everyone on.
There's a very good point as well, because some people think that the greatest art form of the last 100 years is marketing.
Yeah. Some
people say that that is his art, that it's not good enough to do it. You've got to then get away with it. And if the point of art is to inflame, I don't think anything inflames people more than the discussion about whether something's art, or if someone's taking the piss, or if someone gets 50 million for something, do they deserve it? Is it worth a hospital?
Well, what do you think? What do you think of the shark in a tank?
I think I was blown away by it. I thought I'd never seen anything like it before.
It was sort of spectacular because it is so huge and so vast, and to have put a shark, you know, in formaldehyde and to have hung it in an art gallery, it's very striking when you see it.
Yeah,
it's a remarkable achievement.
Is he an artist or a fishmonger? What he's done, anyone could have done what he did.
Yes, but not everyone did it. He did it. This is an interesting point that you raise. It's the same old point you always raise. Not anyone could have done it. That's always the same point you make. Anyone could have done it.
Carl,
but they didn't do it.
You could say the same about Michelangelo. Is he an artist or a painter and decorator?
Well, it hasn't caught on, has it? Like the crying boy photograph. No one's having them in their house. No one's gone, oh, have you seen this? Have you seen the new trend, a shark in a tank? No one's got the room, no one wants it. And that, to me, shows you what's popular. At the end of the day, if everyone wants one, he's got to be good, hasn't it?
But I think if people were given a chance to appreciate more sophisticated things, then they would. And I just think that's true in all walks of life. You know, it's an acquired taste, and the best things are an acquired taste.
I mean, I haven't got pictures in our flat because of that mirrored wall I've got.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, it's tiny. You've been in it. Got windows on one wall, door to get in on the other, kitchen on the other, mirrored wall on the other. So there's nowhere there. There's no space for art.
I'm intrigued how you sit at home. Where's the sofa?
At home?
Yeah.
Facing the mirror.
So you sit looking at yourself all night?
Yeah.
As opposed to a painting?
Yeah, but at least that changes each day.
No, it doesn't.
It does. The picture changes.
It's not. It's round and miserable every fucking day.
No, honestly, it's good to, because you don't look at yourself otherwise. Especially me, I haven't got any hair to comb or anything, so I don't look in the mirror as much as the normal person. So, whereas now, I'm looking there every day.
So you're sat at home staring at yourself?
No, because the telly's in front of the mirror.
But are you not distracted by yourself?
Yeah, you do. When the adverts are on, you look up, and if Suzanne's sat next to me, I tend to talk to her through the mirror.
mean? So why don't you look at her when you talk to her?
Well, you don't have to turn your neck or anything. There's no neck usage going on. I can just look forward. I look at the telly, lift the eyes up, look in the mirror, look at me, look at her.
What does she do?
No,
Look back at you
we're
in the
used to
mirror.
it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's like there's more people in the room in a way. It's like,
And they're further away.
there's nothing odd about that. Why wouldn't you use... It doesn't matter. Your
Sorry,
eyes, remember, your
why
eyes
wouldn't
are
you
still...
talk to your girlfriend via a mirror all the time? Is that your question?
Well, no, I think it's quite normal. If your head is facing a mirror where you can see everything in that room, remember, it's a small flat, I can see everything that's going on in there without moving my head. Stephen Hawking would be well happy. So I can look forward, she's sat next to me. If I'm watching the telly, I can say something. Now, she's getting the sound from me still because she's sat close.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're further away, but things look better from a distance anyway.
So that's how you managed to keep this relationship alive?
Maybe.
You're such an odd little man.
But no,
Yeah.
it's not odd. You see, there was a woman on the estate who did use... have I told you about Miss Peggy before?
No.
It rings a bell. Go on.
I think I told you ages ago, it's this fat woman who used to be on the estate. She had a three-wheeler bike. And her
Push
husband...
bike, pedal bike.
Yeah, like a tricycle thing, but a big one.
Right.
She used to sit her husband in the basket in the back. Cycle about, what have you.
Yeah.
She was known as Miss Piggy. Anyway.
Oh, is this the one that she used to beat him up so your dad pretended to be a policeman?
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, well, the way she used to communicate, she used to always go in quick save and nick biscuits. And if anyone went up to her to say, stop nicking the biscuits, she'd pull out like a little mirror out of a bag and she'd look in it, but talk to you via the mirror.
Oh, God! Oh, man!
What?
This
So she
place
was
you
insane?
got- It's weird, isn't it? It's
It was
like,
really weird.
Like
It used to scare
Narnia.
me.
It's like a Salvador Dali painting. you exist in there.
Yeah. It's really, really
So
weird.
hang on. So she used to talk to people through the mirror because she was mental.
I couldn't sit, watch the telly, and look at me watching the telly in the mirror all night.
No,
That's
no,
weird.
that would be
Why?
really weird.
It's really weird, Carl.
I'd be very conscious of myself.
No,
Conscious
I
of the
think
way
it
I'm
gives you,
sat.
it gives you confidence in that. And if you are
Gives you
sort of...
confidence.
Well, yeah, because you're seeing yourself more and you pick up what habits you do and stuff like that.
So what have you changed through your viewing of yourself?
I sort of grew a beard the other week, just something different to look at for a bit. And then you get sick of that. It's like a piece of art. Change that, have a bit of a shave.
Can you see the back of the telly in the mirror?
A little bit, yeah. If the flat's a mess, it's a mess twice.
Oh, God! Oh. Sculptures. What do you think of sculptures? I mean, because that's something that really is getting into the 3D world there, isn't it? No longer do you have to represent something as 3D. You can make something. You know, is it... You know, the statues are amazing, aren't they?
They're clever, aren't they? I mean, they always look the same.
Well, that's not true, is it? Because recently there was quite a controversial one, a huge one in London, the pregnant thalidomide woman. What do you think of that?
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Thoughts?
I wouldn't have it in my house.
Well, there wouldn't be room because it would just be you, Suzanne, and a pregnant thalidomide watching telly.
I don't know what he was trying to say. It's...
Maybe she was saying, OK, we've had the human form. This is an example of the human form.
Yeah, but do you think she started off trying to do normal, and it was like, oh, I've chipped a bit off?
One of the arms got chipped
Well,
off.
it makes you wonder, doesn't it? And why? You see that square, Trafalgar Square, you've got that. Nelson's column, he's got one arm and a leg missing or something and a patch over his eye. Then you've got the thalidomide. Why can't they just do a full person?
Well, that was what they saw. That was what the artist saw.
It's about confronting us with certain preconceptions of what we expect of the human form, what we expect of sculpture. It's probably a little ironic comment as well on the famous Rodin. It's wrapped up with all kinds of ideas of maternity, of the human form, of what sculpture is. Why wouldn't you put that in a big public place?
What about the subject? Did you think, who's that subject? Who is that woman?
No, not really, because the thalidomides are around, and we've all seen one. It's not like a shocking image. It's one of life's little things that it chucks out. There's some out there, so
Amazing.
it's not
Amazing.
shocking, is it? I don't understand what you mean. I think what I thought is it just goes to show we're sort of running out of ideas.
What do you think of people who are so angry at art they try and censor it or they try and destroy it? Do you think art should ever be censored?
It's where you put it. If it's in a gallery, then it doesn't have to be censored. If it's in Trafalgar Square, where everyone's wandering around having a nice time, you don't want a 12-foot cock. So it's all about where you put it. I think some art looks better because of where it is. Angel of the North, that's a bit of art, but it's a bit of a surprise, isn't it? You're driving along a miserable motorway.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that over there? Gives you something for your eyes to look at again. Motorways are the most boring place to drive. But you go, oh, look, there's a bit of art over there.
Yeah, but
Stick that
then
Angel
again,
of the
should you be
North.
looking at art when you're going at 70 miles an hour along a motorway?
Well, yeah, because it's really big. You can keep your eye on it and
Look in the mirror.
It's not a problem.
Wait till you go past it and look in the mirror like normal.
So you like the Angel of the North?
Because it's something in the middle of nothing.
Right, but if you put it somewhere else...
Stick it in Trafalgar Square, you'd go, oh, more clutter.
I remember we were shown the cartoon version of Animal Farm when we were about like 15, 16. We were discussing it afterwards about Napoleon. Oh yeah, great. Oh yeah, communism versus the poor proletariat and all this. And this bloke went, "You lot make me sick. It was just a nice film about some animals." Brilliant.
Yeah. What's your take on that, Carl? No, go on. What's your point? Because you can see the irony there, can't you?
I haven't seen it.
No.
If you want to do a serious point, don't use animals.
No? Well, I disagree with there because I think my favourite is probably Charles Dickens, and I think the greatest story ever told is A Christmas Carol, and there's only one way that could ever be improved, and that is a Muppet Christmas
That's
Carol.
absolutely right, yeah.
So, and I think that you could, and I think people could take a lesson from that and maybe do other films with the Muppets. A Muppet Schindler's List.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could make it so moving, couldn't you?
Schindler's List in space.
Miss Piggy's Choice. Well, we talked about that.
What?
About things like that in art as well. Do you think that bringing something so serious to the masses, like films do, things like the Holocaust and like Sophie's Choice, where she has to choose which child lives and dies?
Why does she have to pick?
Well, because the Nazis were horrible, nasty, evil people.
And which one did she pick?
I don't think that's the point. I don't think that's the point.
I love the idea that
this is not a betting game.
No, but I imagine this is like Deal No Deal. It's kind of you're down to the last two. Which one are you going to go for?
God. But why did you ask which one did she choose? Because even if he'd said the names, Robert and Alison, what difference would it make? You don't know the story. Why is
No,
it that
because
you've
then
said...
I'd ask more then. If he said Alison, I'd go, what was it with Alison? What did she have over Robert? That's what films are meant to do. You question it. Whenever I watch a film with Suzanne, I always say at the end, what was going on there?
Oh,
That's because you're an idiot.
Christ!
That's because you've just watched Muppet Christmas Carol and you can't understand why a frog's able to talk.
I'm all for films with a good storyline.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That's a perfect point. One extraordinary point.
He's going to follow this up, mate. He's going to follow
got
this up.
something there. He's got
Come
something
on,
here.
Carl, go on then. What's your
No.
take on films?
Films are really good. You can get lost in them.
Right.
And
You like one with a good story?
I mean, whenever anyone asks, it's always the same. It's Elephant Man. It's Kez. Mission Impossible 2.
Mission Impossible 2. These are what you consider the great works
No, I'm
of
just
film
saying
art.
these are ones that I've enjoyed recently. There's so many films that I haven't seen, yet you always say, oh, have you seen so-and-so? You'll
Well,
love
Mission
it.
Impossible 1.
And there's good news for you. 3's out.
That's true. One of the most striking art exhibitions that I ever attended, Carl, was an exhibition of outsider art. Something I'm sure you're very familiar with. Outsider art, of course, is work that is made by people who are often institutionalised for mental health problems, or they are just incredibly, you know, the people who aren't in any way part of the art establishment.
Well, they're right up to psychopathic murderers, clinically insane mass murderers would count as outsider art. I went to an outsider art exhibition in New York. It was incredible, and I bought a painting of this guy. He's a chronic schizophrenic, and he paints in tar, like road tar, that he gets from roads, and he paints in that on wood he finds in sort of skips, and it's incredible because it's sort of like scratched in, and it's amazing. And there's this thing of Jesus being helped down off the cross. Admittedly, I was walking around there going, this is fucking mental, and James was going, you've got to stop saying that, because of course some of the people are mental. There was one bloke who done a sculpture of a skull, right? And underneath, it was like a little head with his teeth. Underneath, he'd put a sign that said "real teeth." Where did he get the real teeth from?
What I think is interesting about that is how much therapy it provides for these often mentally unstable people, which is another important value of art, of course. People's self-expression, people being able to give a little piece of themselves through their work. Do you not see any value in that? How do you express yourself?
Whistle.
You whistle.
Yeah, I found over Christmas I whistled a lot more than I usually do. And I think that was just freedom.
What do you mean freedom?
Right,
freedom.
expand on this point, if you would.
Well, that's what art is, isn't it? It's you being free of all the world's heaviness on your shoulders.
See, that's a great quote, that. That's great, that. For art is freedom. I love that, because I think you've really hit on something there.
Would you include the free of all the world's heaviness?
Well, I know what you meant. I know what you meant there.
Would you include that one in it?
I mean, I would include the world's heaviness in my freedom. You know, some artists are attracted to the dark side, the heaviness of the world.
But I just want to return to you whistling as your artistic expression of freedom. I mean, why did you find yourself whistling more?
That's what was weird.
So just take us through a typical day. When would the whistling begin?
So this was that you spent Christmas down in Kent with Suzanne and her parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could I suggest something? Your freedom was thinking, I'm in my own place now, I'm going to annoy them.
Well, it was mainly, it's when we were playing Scrabble. And they were taking ages to have their go, and couldn't have the radio on because the boiler affects the radio.
You've got boiler problems down in Kent as well?
It works, it just gives something off. Every time it kicks in, the radio goes all staticky.
Right.
So I just was sort of supplying the soundtrack.
And what kind of things would you be whistling?
It was like, I just sort of did a whistle medley. It was going from one thing to another.
A Wedley.
And a man was impressed. She was like, oh, you can whistle, can't you? I was going, yeah. And then she was saying, how loud can you go? I was just doing all different levels.
Sorry, this sounds like a scene from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. The boiler's setting off the radio. I can whistle. Oh, you're a good whistler, aren't you? Oh, yes, Scrabble. Talk about outsider art.
I love the fact that Carl's life is like living in a home when you're in your 80s.
Yeah.
But you felt that this was your way of expressing yourself.
I just found it odd, because I don't whistle that much. I think just because I think I'm fed up most of the time when I'm in London. And you don't whistle when you're fed up. Whistling's a happy thing. You never get an angry man suddenly breaking into a
Well,
whistle.
the people who aren't whistling are usually pissed off. But yeah, the bloke who's whistling, it's like, it's the least... He's the least annoyed person in the room when someone's whistling. Same as holding a drill. The only person that noise doesn't annoy is the bloke who's drilling. Everyone else wants to bunch his face in. Same with whistling. Whistling, there's no point in whistling.
No, there is.
No, there's not.
Don't know. I mean, our window cleaner was known as, like, you know, that's how you knew he was there. He always whistled. And in the end, he fell off his ladder, broke his front teeth.
Oh.
Retired.
What, because he couldn't whistle?
That was it. It was like,
Well, yeah, he whistled all the time.
Can't whistle,
Well, yeah.
can't clean windows. It's a bit tragic.
Could he take along a whistle? Just pop that in his mouth.
Yeah, I suppose he could have done. I didn't think of that.
What about a flute? Or a recorder? Not London's burning again. Fucking clean the windows and then fuck off.
He didn't really think this through, did he? He retired at the age of 28. And his whole family were bankrupt.
With no teeth.
Yeah.
And just a bucket and a squeegee.
Why aren't you working, Dad? Because I can't whistle.
I can't whistle anymore. And if the day you give up whistling is the day I give up window cleaning.
So you never whistle?
No.
I can't really whistle very well. No.
I don't whistle, but I can whistle better than that.
What, you did this for hours on end while playing Scrabble?
About 2 hours.
2 hours?
Hell.
Put my word down.
And
then...
sorry, can we just hear that again? Can we hear it?
So you were whistling after you had your go as well?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, Carl.
But hang on, let's just hear a bit. That is Carl's self-expression. That is his artistic self-expression right there.
A name. No tune, no nothing.
There's mental patients who have smeared canvases with shit who have expressed more than you have in that.
Yeah, but it's not about other people. I'm not there to please other people.
Right. You're there to annoy them.
What was the best word you came up with in Scrabble?
Don't knock me at Scrabble, because I do all right. What's weird is, when I play Scrabble, my brain can come up with words that I don't normally say.
OK, I'm intrigued here. Your brain can come up with words you wouldn't normally say.
Just words that I'd never drop into a sentence.
Tree, cat.
Go on.
Squirm. That's using a Q. It's worth 10, that. It's not bad, is it? Now, I'd never say that.
I don't think I've ever heard you say squirm, no. I don't think you're right, Carl. I've never heard you say squirm.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it is weird.
And yet your brain popped that one out.
And then, yeah, when it wasn't my go, just... Anyway, so that's sort of doing art for yourself as opposed for other people.
I don't think you can count what you just did then as art. Hobby maybe, craft, pastime. I don't think you can count that as art. I'm not being funny. I'm being a bit snobby here. But I think there's a difference between Beethoven and... Squirm. There's a Q in that.
For the past few years, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington have been meeting regularly for a series of pointless conversations. This is one of them.
Testing. Is that all right?
Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And the little round-headed buffoon that is Carl Pilkington.
All right.
We've been away filming in a sweltering London. We've had a heat wave here in the capital city, haven't we, Carl?
It's been hot, hasn't it?
Been up to 100 degrees, record-breaking temperatures.
Yeah.
What have you been doing, though?
Getting to see the place, having loads of walks and that. I like to have walks. You know, watching what
Like a
people
dog.
are doing.
Yeah! When he jumps off the couch and starts
Exactly.
scratching against the door.
Suzanne thinks it's time. Another walk.
It's just good thinking time, though, isn't it? As well, having a walk. You've got no other clutter going on around you. And you just think about a lot of stuff. And, you know, like you say, with the weather being hot and stuff, a lot of insects knocking about.
Right.
So I've just been watching them.
So while we've been filming, you've been watching insects?
Yeah, just seeing, because everybody knows insects are out there, but no one's keeping an eye on them.
What are they up to? What are you worried about?
Loads at Steve, you wouldn't be laughing like that if you'd watch them, because they do some weird stuff and that, is what I mean.
What sort of stuff? Any examples?
I saw a bee have a heart attack.
You saw a bee have a heart attack.
Yeah.
How were you sure it was a heart attack?
Because what happened? I'd been.
Did it clutch its chest with all 6 legs?
No,
Were there some other little bee paramedics?
No, I'd just been out in the park anyway, just looking at caterpillars knocking about, butterflies and stuff. So I was sort of aware.
So when Suzanne goes to work, she goes, Carl, don't you waste the day. I want you to do some constructive stuff.
But the thing is, so I'd been in the park and I was aware of the insects that are around us more than like most of the time. And I come out of the park, just crossing like sort of a busy road and what have you, and I saw this bee to the right of me, sort of in the air, and it was a big one, and I was a bit like, oh, let's watch that. And it just fell. It fell from the air in front of me, and it was on the pavement. And I thought, oh, what's going on here? And I looked at it for a bit, and it was really still. Gave it a little kick, just to see if there was any movement. Nothing. Stone sort of, what's the saying? Stone cold dead.
Yeah, stone cold bee dead.
So
yeah,
that
I
was...
like the fact that this bee suddenly saw Carl and had a heart attack.
Yeah,
it'd never seen anything that round before.
Yeah.
It just thought it had approached him because he thought it was a sunflower.
My God, it's a giant walking orange. Every dream has come true.
No, but it just summed up life for me. I thought that's like us, isn't it? At the end of the day, they have heart attacks, stress.
You put it down to stress, do you?
Well, it's in London, isn't it? You know, everything has stresses from living here.
And they are bald, aren't they? They've got fur all over, but they lose the...
And always overweight.
It was a fat, bald bee.
So what did you... It fell to the floor and you instantly... You just kicked it. You didn't attempt to revive it.
No, I waited a second and just looked at it to see if there was any, leg movement or wing. And there was nothing. And then when I sort of kicked it, it was sort of hard. It had hardened already. It's just...
Rigor mortis
had set in.
Did it put you in a bad mood for the day? Because I know things like that can just send you over the edge for the day.
Death and that does a bit. Suzanne doesn't like me talking about death.
What riveting conversations do you come up with?
No, just things like one of our mates has had a baby recently, and I just was saying, oh, when that's sort of our age, we'll nearly be dead.
Think of that.
That's the first thing he says, is a new life brought into the world.
I know.
But when he's our age, we'll be dead.
Yeah.
No, it's
Maybe
weird.
they'll let you do the speech at the christening.
Well, yeah, I've been watching loads of stuff. I've been watching ants. You mentioned ants. I've had a lot of moths in the house. They're sort of sad.
I mean, you say it like it was a garden party.
Yeah, well, but all I'm saying is I look at more about what its life is like. Because if you watch something long enough, is what I'm saying, you can see that it's a bit clueless. It's the same way about ants, or, they're hard workers and all that. I watch one, it's going back and forth all the time. They go one way and then they stop and go the other way. They try to look busy in front of the mates. But if you watch one long enough, it's back and forwards and it's like it's done nothing there.
I'm going to carry this twig back and forth until I can knock off at 4.
There's a lot of that going on.
Is there?
Because there's not. There's none of that going on.
There is. No, like I say, the moth. Depressing little sort of thing.
Why is it depressing?
It hasn't got eyes, has it? You just look at it, it doesn't know what's going on. I just don't... I think if you haven't got eyes, you shouldn't have wings.
That's a rule. If we could put that into practice, please.
That's a great rule. That's a fantastic rule, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you haven't got eyes, you shouldn't have wings.
I just was reading something about an octopus. That's like a killer octopus. And it annoyed me that this was knocking about now. Because I didn't know, I thought they were quite friendly. Whenever you see them in cartoons and that, they're always happy, aren't they? And then suddenly, like, they've sort of brought the whole sort of creature down. Do you know what I mean?
No, what do you mean?
Well, just when you see them in films, they're running about and that, and everybody likes an octopus. But this one that's on it was your fault, really, because you told me about that frog that's going about killing people.
No, I didn't say that.
So I looked it up on the internet at, like, other creatures and stuff.
.com.
And there's some octopus that's in the sea. And what it does, you don't even have to, like, threaten it. It just spits in the water. And if that stuff gets on you, does you in.
Again,
So in a way, it's good knowledge because, I don't go in the sea anyway because it's full of stuff like that. But that's just reassured me that I'm doing the right thing. If they're knocking about, just gozzing everywhere, you don't even have to be near one. You don't even know if it's been spitting and stuff. It can kill you. It just seems unfair. I haven't harmed it. I haven't gone near it. Why is it getting annoyed with me? Doesn't seem right. So that's where our knowledge has not helped that octopus out. Because now, when you eat them, I just think, yeah, have another one. Do you know what I mean? Get rid of them.
Another conversation with himself. Another conversation with himself. Okay, Carl, I'm just going to throw an animal at you. Tell me how weird it is, what bits annoy you, how you change it. Okay? A crab.
How would I change it?
Yeah. Does it annoy you? Do you think it's weird?
They are weird, but they're at that size where they can get away with it.
Yeah, it suits them. Okay, good.
Would I change anything? In a way, you know, what you're saying about things not working, he can't walk forwards. So why hasn't something happened? Why haven't they said, do you know what, these arms are too clumsy. We need to have them so they can slot away easier and we can pull them out when we need them, instead of clumping around with them. Because they do struggle. You see them struggling with their arms. Yet they're still here, they're still doing that, they're still designed that way.
What's the weirdest animal? So you think the octopus is the weirdest animal on Earth?
Yeah.
Why is it any weirder than a dog?
Because it couldn't be further away from us. A dog has got human eyes. If a jellyfish had a pair of eyes like ours, I probably wouldn't worry about him that much. But like I said to you, it's that way that they haven't got eyes, they're floating about. I can handle some fish. They look like, because they've got eyes, you can make eye-to-eye contact with them. A jellyfish, what are you looking at? It's a snidey thing, like I've said to you. You can see a lot in eyes. Do you know what I mean? They say, don't trust him. Why? It's his eyes. Jellyfish haven't even got any, and I don't trust them. In terms of design and everything, and if you lined everything up, say if I'd come from another planet, and everything was lined up in a row, and they said, right, we're going to give you a crash course in what's knocking about on this planet. Yeah. And you go, right, go on then. And you go, this is man, here's woman, here's a dog, here's a cat, here's an octopus, I go, hang on a minute, what is this? Say if everything was at the same size as us, what would be the best thing to be? Say like a tarantula.
Yeah.
And a tiger. What would happen there?
A 15-stone tiger versus a 15-stone tarantula.
Yeah.
Well, I'd imagine a 15-stone tarantula.
Right, so it's just weird that, innit? It's a good job that they're small. Yet things are getting bigger because we're messing with the world.
But it's a ridiculous thing to say, isn't it? Because what would it eat? 15 stone. The biggest you'll find is like a foot-long beetle or something weird like that.
Big though, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's about as big as they get.
So
I wouldn't worry about it.
Again, based on nothing, he queries you.
But it's like fish, isn't it? How they say about a goldfish.
Yeah.
That thing about a woman who went on holiday and stuck it in a bath. She came back, it was 7 foot.
Right, that didn't happen.
No, that's a well-known thing about
goldfish. No, it's not a well-known thing.
What?
I'll tell you why. Because a fish will only grow to its surroundings anyway. So...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You have to put it in a bigger tank.
Yeah, in a bath.
No, a 7-foot fish in a bath. It just fit the bath exactly, did it?
When she got back off holiday...
Don't talk shit. What was it eating? What was it eating?
How long was she gone for? 2 million years?
Yeah. She went to Mars and back.
Ted, you're not going to believe this. Come up here.
Well, how many fish do you see that have naturally died? It's always been caught by a man or a shark's at it. You don't just see dead fish washed up, do you?
Well, most things like that don't die of old age.
Yeah, that's weird though, isn't it?
Well, no, because it's a jungle out there.
No, worse than the sea. The sea is like full of... you've got an enemy round every rock.
I love it! I love it! It's like a warning to crabs
Exactly.
and young squid. It's like the policeman that comes into your school.
Yeah. Carl, have you ever seen the programme Inside the Actors Studio?
No.
James Lipton interviews famous actors and gets words of advice about, how they work and how they act. But at the end, he always asks a series of questions, which is based on a French series of questions that a guy called Bernard Pivot used to give people when he interviewed them. So I'm going to ask you some of these questions. Just interesting to see what your response is. And, answer them quickly. You don't have to think about them too much. What is your favourite curse word?
I don't think I've got one. Knobhead. That sums everything up, and I think it's...
But you wouldn't call your nan a knobhead, would you? What would you call a nan?
Well, knobhead's all right, isn't it? Because she sort of gets it. It's one of them things that everybody understands, but it's not too offensive.
Right.
What a knobhead.
What would you do, though, if you were swimming, right? It was a nice little thing, you're on holiday, right? And there's this octopus there, and you're going around, right? And you just see it start spitting at you. Poison. What would you say to it?
Well, it's too late then, isn't it? And I'd kick it. And I'd say, knobhead. I would... but what's the point? What's the point in getting annoyed now? Because it's done its stuff, hasn't it?
I don't know why you'd kick it and call it a knobhead under the water. What is this octopus thinking? Oh, God. Oh, I'd go, you fucking eight-legged shit.
I'm not bothered. I don't know what you're saying.
Fucking cunt of a mollusk.
I'll just spit at you again. It's not bothered.
You slimy little fucking boneless wanker.
This is why the face
Are you
is
still
good.
talking to the octopus?
Oh, I don't believe it. He's only going to run it down the...
That jingle, of course, signifies another reading from Carl Pilkington's diary. We went to the park and had a brew. Suzanne read the paper while I played with a ladybird. I mean, it's like a child, isn't it? It's like what a child would do.
Suzanne read the paper while I played with a ladybird. His only friend is a beetle.
It climbed up my arm. It struggled on me hairs.
This is in detail, then.
Yeah. It kept stopping every now and then and was rubbing its head with its right arm. It did it about 4 times and always used its right arm. It rested for about 5 minutes, then flew off. Sunday. Had a bit of a to-do with Suzanne because she wanted a lion today. I ate this. Once you're awake, you should get up. I got up and put the radio on really loud. She eventually got up. I told her insects don't have lions, so we shouldn't.
Why are you obsessed with insects?
You must be fucking unbearable to live with. You must be a nightmare.
No, I've just started, because I've watched insects a lot. I don't want to keep going on about them because we're a bit insect heavy. But at the end of the day, if we copied insects, we wouldn't go far wrong.
I don't know what you mean, though. 1 minute you're saying they're great, then the next minute you'll slag them off.
Yeah, I'll slag some of them off if I don't know what they're doing, but because I've studied them a bit longer, I just think they do it
You haven't
right.
studied them, though.
He thinks he's like Darwin.
But you just slagged them off when you go, no, you think people that insects are doing stuff, they're not. It
Yeah,
goes there,
ants.
then it goes back again.
The ant was messing about, but only that one. The others were carrying stuff. That's what I'm saying. These snidey ones in everything. In everything in the world, you get a hierarchy.
Oh, long words!
Ooh. Some new sea thing has been found.
That's the headlines on the news.
It wasn't found by sea experts, it was found on eBay. Someone was selling it for a £5. I don't see the point in buying something that you don't know what it is.
What do you mean? What do you mean? It was...
Someone's found some sort of shell with a thing living in it.
Right.
They thought, oh, I've never seen one of these before, I can flog it on eBay. Someone bought it and then wanted to look after it, went to some sea expert and they said, oh, I don't know what that is. That's the story. It's just weird how stuff's being found on eBay.
No, it wasn't found on eBay, though, was it?
Yeah, but that's where the specialist people sort of picked up on it. It's just weird that... I mean, all I was saying is I wouldn't want one. If you don't know how to... If it's a new creature, you don't know what makes it happy. When you get a kitten, you go, stroke its head. Loves it. Right? And you can do that knowing that it's liking it. If I had a little seashell and you go, does it sit in water? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? You could end up doing more damage. So that's why I wouldn't want it. It's nice to have rules, isn't it? It's nice to know what you're doing with something.
Well, as you write in the diary, it's like if an alien landed and wanted to live with you. As much fun as it might sound, it wouldn't be long before you got annoyed with it because it wouldn't eat the food you gave it.
That's what I'm saying, but I couldn't have a go at it because it might not like pasta.
It might not.
Everyone likes pasta.
Wow.
Woke up to some interesting news. It's good when this happens because it sets me up for the day ahead. If it's miserable news, it affects my day. It said on the news that they have found 2 new flies.
Fucking hell, more insects! What have you done? Is that all you've done this summer?
Bong. Trouble in the Middle East. Bong. 2 new flies found.
Ladybird climbs up arm.
They were found in the UK and they were found close to each other. Maybe this happened because they were different than the other flies and weren't expected to hang about together, so that's why they knocked about with each other.
That would happen, wouldn't it?
What do you mean?
There's 2 new flies.
What do you mean? Does it mean there are 2 new flies that are a different species?
Yeah, 2 new species, and they found them close to each other, right?
Yeah,
and
but they didn't mean there was one of each.
No. Yeah, they did. They found 2 different ones.
No,
they have. Seriously, I know that. That's right. That's a fact. So you've got, like, I don't know the names of them. They give them odd names, don't they? Well, say
Yeah.
call it A and Fly B, right?
Yeah.
Fly A, I don't know. Say that's orange.
This is just...
B.
Fly B, yeah.
This is painful.
No, but
This
I'm
is
just making it
painful.
easier
But
for
Fly B
you.
wears a little hat. He's got a little hat.
Right, yeah, fine. Now, they found the orange one. I went, look at this over here. This is a bit weird. And they've gone, oh, that's a new species. Log it, whatever. And then the other one went, oh, keep your pen handy. Look at this one, it's got a hat on. So then they found them both within the same distance.
I don't know what that sentence means.
Keep going.
They
Let
found
him
them
try and
both.
finish.
They found them both within the same distance.
But without interrupting him, let him finish this point.
Let me just make one thing clear. Carl Pilkington just said they found them both within the same distance. Think of that!
Don't know what it means, but go on, let him finish this point.
So what I mean is, they weren't knocking about with other normal houseflies because they were probably sort of going, oh, he's a bit weird. Leave it. Yet, because the other one was also odd, they're hanging about with each other. Don't you understand that? Why is that such an odd concept?
Because you think of it as like 2 little new kids in school.
Yeah.
They find out they're both new and they've got something in
Yeah,
common.
they're both goths, so they start hanging out together.
Yeah.
And this was on the news, was it?
Yeah, just on the radio, yeah.
I know if I looked into that story, it would be 90% wrong.
Bit tired today because didn't get to sleep as early as I'd wanted due to a moth getting in the bedroom.
Fuck me.
I got it in a glass and looked at it for a bit and then let it go because Suzanne wanted to go to sleep. Looked up some interesting news. Some people dug up an old body in Ireland. Turns out it's well old and was here when dinosaurs were here. The really weird bit is it had hair gel in its hair.
Right, what is it?
Fella,
Well, no, it wasn't around when dinosaurs were here then.
just a bit after.
Right, fine. A lot after, yeah, go on.
It's not the age bit, that's amazing. It's the fact of, there's a fella, won't have even had shoes on his feet,
Right.
and yet he was worried about his hairstyle.
Right, well, that's definitely not true either.
There was a man on the radio doing poetry, says Carl in his diary. I thought I'd have a go at doing a poem about today.
Not really. Steve, I'm a little bit queasy. He hasn't really written a poem.
He's written a small poem.
No, he hasn't really.
Yes. If moths had eyes...
Fuck me!
Let me read the poem, okay?
Oh, fuck.
You wouldn't interrupt T.S. Eliot.
Okay. Oh, okay.
If moths had eyes, would they be happier? How do they know they're not dead? Cavemen hunting for food, but not before they style the hair on their head. What would last longer in dinosaur times? A blind man didn't stand a chance. Not with all them rocks about. I'd rather be a blind moth.
Right. It may be the greatest poem ever written.
Is there a creative decision for that?
Can we have Carl read that?
By all
Sorry,
means, yeah.
just you read it as you would like to. So this is. Imagine this, right? Okay, this is going out all over the world. And now, Carl Pilkington, a new poet from Manchester, now living in London, England, would like to read a poem
If moths had eyes, would they be happier? How do they know they're not dead? Cavemen hunting for food, but not before they style the hair on their head. What would last longer in dinosaur times? A blind man didn't stand a chance. Not with all them rocks about. I'd rather be a blind moth.
He said it as though the last bit was going to rhyme. He said it like it was going to rhyme. Oh, God.
No,
It's amazing.
I think he feels as though the final line, I'd rather be a blind moth, it's going to be one of those great, a summation that somehow the moth is a metaphor, the caveman.
No, but
there's
all
no
I'm doing-
metaphor in that. He really does mean he'd rather be a blind moth.
Yeah, well, I'm just because I've looked at the day's news.
Are you getting into poetry now, properly?
I really like it, yeah. Right, I did 2 about jellyfish.
Excellent.
I don't like jellyfish. They're not a fish, they're just a blob. They don't have eyes, fins or scales like a cod. They float about blind, stinging people in the seas. And no one eats jellyfish with chips and mushy peas. Get rid of them. And then there's just a shorter one I did about a jellyfish. It would be spiteful to put jellyfish in a trifle.
Yeah, it certainly would.
So,
That's great. That's really good. Because it's jelly. He's done us there, Steve.
Yeah.
That's a really good poem. Can we always do that, Carl? Can we always find a day, right, and always sum it up in your
in a
thoughts,
poem.
a poem, just like that? It would be spiteful to put jellyfish in a trifle.
yeah.
For the past few years, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington have been meeting regularly for a series of pointless conversations. This is one of them.
Testing. Is that all right?
Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
This is the worst chair I've ever sat on. And I've sat on some fucking chairs in my life.
Yeah. Are we started?
One.
Are we ready? Are we recorded?
Yeah.
Ready?
Right.
Hello and welcome to a brand new series. What?
It's ridiculous.
I was getting it all fired up.
Excited and motivated.
What are you talking about?
One. Just seems a bit loud, that.
Well, you should have sorted that out. Carl, are we ready now?
Yeah.
Well, come back here then, you dopey bald twat.
Hello? Yeah. I'll just sit like that.
Right, okay, ready?
So it was your problem.
Oh, Jesus.
Just this carpet.
Right, ready?
Yeah.
Hello, welcome to a brand new series of the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais.
Hello.
Well, no.
Sorry. I was so excited to say hello.
Okay, right, okay. Hello and welcome to a brand new series of the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant,
Hello.
and the little round-headed shaven chimp that is Carl Pilkington.
All right.
While I was at my parents' house, they often, they keep clippings of things, if we've been mentioned in the papers. I don't know if you've heard this, Carl. In the Sunday Times, someone's written a letter about Carl
Wow.
They can send in comments and views on things they've seen, read, heard.
Oh, excellent.
And this is what someone wrote to the Sunday Times. Who is Carl Pilkington, and why have I just wasted 5 minutes of my life listening to some of his cretinous thoughts on Channel 4? He asked, why are there so many dinosaurs on display in museums? Quotes, couldn't they just choose the best one and just show that? He summed it all up by deciding that we know too much. Somebody clearly doesn't know enough to know that this is a complete waste of airtime, showing no wit, intellect or creativity. That's from Wendy in Berkshire.
You can't have your critics. You know what I mean?
You've got to have your critics.
Of course you have. If everybody liked what you did, then you're not doing the right thing.
But think how angry she must have been to have bothered writing this letter to the Sunday Times.
Well, that's good.
I mean,
though.
you
It's made her
really
do
must
something.
have-
It's all about getting people thinking. That's what I always say to you. As long as I'm getting people thinking about what I've said, she remembered what I said.
Yeah.
I'll tell you now, right? This, if I don't know if Wendy's, listen to this, but
Almost certainly not.
But listen, right? I was saying about the museums, right, and how they're big and everything, and they've
Brilliant.
got dinosaurs all over the shop. I read that in that museum, they've got something like 7 million bits of stuff in there. Right? Now, when I spend 2 hours in somewhere, just show me the good stuff. Don't be saying we've got 7 million bits. Because there was a fella who opened it, right? I did a bit of research on the museum.
What museum was it?
It was the London one.
Oh, the London one, yeah. Okay.
So he's in there and he's collecting all this, bits of stuff.
What stuff?
Just whatever's knocking about at that time.
right, okay.
It seemed like
You
he
have
never
researched it.
He never chucked anything away. He's like, I won't put it in the bin, pop it on a shelf.
Okay,
right? So
yeah.
he's put everything on a shelf in
right,
this
yeah.
museum. Then as time
I
went
think you're
on,
going into too much detail, but just give us the gist of it.
No, but all I'm saying is he keeps everything. And if you keep everything, sometimes it'll be good stuff, right? And a lot of the stuff was going missing, the good stuff. But people who set these museums up are just as crafty.
What?
The fella who found Tutankhamun, he was pocketing all sorts of fingers and stuff in his pockets on the way out. That had rings on them and stuff. So all I'm saying is, why is she having a go?
But
She's
hang on,
learned
wait,
something.
no, but we just gave you the chance then to defend yourself, and you just confirmed Wendy's point 1,000 times over. What was all this waffle about people nicking stuff? What's that got to do with anything?
Because she's having a go at me. I didn't nick
But she's
anything.
having a go at you for talking nonsense that's of no consequence, which is what you just did then.
That's all nonsense.
But what was your point?
All right, then we'll watch Wendy's little programme when that goes out. Let's see what she's got to talk about. Sick of her. This is why Wendy's having a go, though, because you're not being open-minded. You're not thinking about...
But we're being open-minded to good ideas, to sensible thought, to intellectual considerations. We're not being open-minded to this utter drivel.
Yeah, but every invention is a bit... Who'd have thought the Frisbee would have caught on?
I love the fact that you think the Frisbee is the pinnacle of invention.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing.
No, it's an example of something that, if he was on some programme where you said, I've invented this, they'd go, get out. They wouldn't give him time of day to say, right, I've made this thing, it's out of plastic, you throw it about. What for? Well, you just chuck it about on the beach. What's the point? It's a bit of fun, isn't it? No, I don't like it.
Okay, that was an argument with himself.
No, but do you know what I mean? It's a popular little thing, and I'm just saying it's easy to put ideas down.
But you've never even come up with an idea as good as the Frisbee, and that's saying something.
I came up with a clippable mat that goes on a cup, and it's a good little thing. I haven't followed it through yet.
A what?
A clippable mat.
What's a clippable mat? What does that
Clippable
involve?
mat that you stick on a cup, so you can put your cup down on a table without having to go, where's that mat? It's clipped to the cup all the time, and you put the cup down wherever you want because it's got a mat on it.
I think I've seen that.
But why does it have
No,
to
you
be
haven't.
clipped to
No, I
it?
think
Why
I
couldn't it
have.
just be built into the cup?
Because
So it clips onto, you've got our special cups. It doesn't
Yeah.
clip onto every cup.
no, but just the same way that every sauce is different. You don't say, I'm sick of this sauce, it doesn't fit a mug. You use the sauce of that. I mean, I don't use sauces. Just don't buy that sort
But
of
isn't a
furniture.
saucer what you're talking about?
Kind of, yeah, but it's clippable.
See, Carl, when he disses all these great inventions and design, where he says you don't need them, it's just faffing, what he means is he's a little bit annoyed that no one's picked up on his ideas, like the clippable mat for the mug, or, I don't know, what's the one about the tie? The tie that had a pocket.
Loads of pockets. But I didn't come up with that. That's something I saw somewhere. It never caught on. I've never seen anyone wearing one yet. It's such a good...
It's not a good idea. It's
It
like
is a good
having a
idea.
carrier bag round your neck. It doesn't make any sense. It's a tie packed with stuff. You want
Right, imagine
All right,
this, though.
Frank, nice tie. What you got in there? Baguette. It's ridiculous.
But imagine the day that the tie was invented. There you go. Do you want a tie? What do you do with it? Put it around your neck. What for?
Well, I'll tell you.
What?
Because you haven't invented buttons yet, and it keeps your shirt together at the top.
Well, all right then. Right. We've invented buttons. Are we going to stop making these ties? No. Why?
He's got you there,
There you
Rick.
go. Now, I'm saying, what are you doing with that tie around your neck? Oh, it's a pocket tie. It's a what? It's a pocket tie. What do you mean? It's got pockets in it. Oh, that's weird. What
It's all right, I've got pockets in my jacket.
Yeah, no, but hang on a minute. It's a hot day, innit? Don't want to put your jacket on.
Oh, or a tie.
Well, if you're going to wear a jacket, wear a tie. Leave the
No,
jacket
I'm not wearing
at
a
home.
jacket. I'm wearing a shirt. Got a
Give
nice
it a purpose. If you're going to wear something, give it a purpose. Everything has a purpose. A tie at the moment is just round your neck, keeping you hot. If you're going to be hot, carry something. Hands free. And everything's always there. A bag, put stuff in a bag, you put a bag down, you forget it. I always forget bags, that's why I don't like carrying them. You pop it down, you get up, you walk off. Oh, where's the bag? A tie, when you go in a cafe or something for beans on toast, you don't take your tie off. I don't wear a tie. I would if it had pockets.
Carl!
The country would look smarter.
Right, you have pockets, so what are you carrying in this pocket?
I've got spare change,
Yeah, okay.
which...
You're rattling around like a cow in Switzerland, just like...
I've got spare change. I've got like my debit card in there.
Right,
Maybe got me little front door key in one of the pockets.
okay.
Pair of scissors if you want.
Amazing. That's safe, isn't it?
Oh, that's a good place to put it, just around the heart area.
Yeah, near the throat. Facing upwards. Brilliant. Carl, think what you're saying. So when you're on the beach and you just got your Speedos on, pop a tie on, go to the shop, pop a tie on.
Well, no, you wear it in the appropriate times. But I'm just saying, if you're going to wear a tie, let's make it useful. Let's give it a purpose.
Don't wear a tie, it's alright. You do not need a tie with pockets. If you're wearing a tie, you've got clothes with pockets.
And it's going to be weighing your neck down. Don't
Don't go mad. If you're carrying anything big, you buy the scarf version.
Carl said the most exciting words. He said, I've had another film idea.
Wow. Does it star Clive Warren? Sell it to me like I'm a Hollywood executive. Sell me the film.
So what I was thinking is, I'm picturing probably. Well, it doesn't matter. It's not as fixed. It doesn't have to be this person. But I'm thinking Tom Cruise.
Okay, Cruisey, yeah.
Excellent.
And the way it works is.
Do you know Tom, by the way, or have you got an in there, or
No.
no?
Okay, but you just
I think it's the sort of film
that would appeal to
that
Tom.
he'd sort of be into. I think it would
Okay.
excite him.
Okay,
Great, okay.
So
have you ordered coffees? Did
what?
Did Cheryl get you a coffee?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thanks, great.
So
Are you hungry at all? Do you want to?
no.
No, great.
So
Cheryl, I might have a tea actually. Cheryl, if you could.
will we wait for the teas before she comes in?
She'll
'Cause
just
once this
sneak
is
in.
flowing.
She will be very quiet. She'll be like a dormouse. She won't even know she's come in.
Okay.
You've got your coffee. I don't want a tea. You don't want anything.
No, I'm fine,
Okay.
thanks.
Go.
Actually, I will have a tea, actually, Cheryl.
2 tea, Cheryl.
Thanks. Okay, go.
Right.
Thanks, Cheryl. Thank you. Thanks.
Is there
Shut the
sugar?
door.
Sorry, is there sugar in this
There's
show?
sugar there.
'Cause
There's I'll put it in there. Okay, shut the door behind you. Thank you. Okay.
Go.
All the way. Go.
Tom Cruise. So I got Tom Cruise. That's what I've pictured so far.
He's just done Mission Impossible 7
Right.
in this film.
Oh, in the film.
So he's playing himself.
No, what you're seeing on the screen is Mission Impossible 7.
So if we get Cruise, he is playing himself,
Yeah.
and he's just made
and in this film, he's just made Mission Impossible 7. Is the future, is it? This.
No, what you're seeing...
Okay, what's this film called?
I haven't got a title yet.
We'll just call it Carl Pilkington Project 2.
Right.
Okay. KP2.
So you go in. The opening thing is Mission Impossible 7. You think that's serious?
I thought this was KP2. I
Yeah,
couldn't
I'm
see
confused.
KP2.
Yeah.
Right, listen. So what happens is then it sort of pans out. You
Yeah.
see it's a telly.
Ah.
There's a bloke watching Mission Impossible 7. Right. His girlfriend's watching it going, oh, I love Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
He's there going, I can't be doing with him. He's
So it
overrated.
is set in the future, though, this? Because we're assuming that he's made 7, so this is a...
Yeah.
How far in the future is it?
Well, when we'll Mission Impossible 7 be made?
I don't know. Probably about 2 years the way it's going.
Right, so, yeah, 2013.
Let's not get bogged down in a lot of these things we can iron out, as I say, in the script.
So you see Mission Impossible 7 on the
Cheryl,
screen.
are any of those biscuits still knocking around?
Do you want to do this meeting?
Yes, I do. Sorry, he's a bit easily distracted, but I will have a biscuit as well, Cheryl. Okay, I've been watching the film. It's Mission Impossible 7. It's pulled out. There's a guy in his room, in his lounge.
His girlfriend's watching it. She's loving it. She's a fan
she
of
loves
Tom Cruise.
Right.
He's a little bit niggled. He wanted to watch something else.
Sure.
She decided on the DVD. He sat there annoyed. I can't be dealing with Tom Cruise. I can't believe they've made 7 of these films.
Right.
He's a rubbish actor. I should be the actor. You know, I've been doing acting for years.
But he's not an actor.
Well, he is.
Okay.
But he hasn't quite made it. He's sending a lot of demos off.
Right.
Forget
So
that.
he's a struggling actor.
So what happens is next day they get up. Right.
Yep.
She's still going on about Tom Cruise.
Loves him.
Thinks I'm sick of him. Right. She loves him.
Got my biscuits gone in my tea. I left it in there too long because he put me off.
stupid.
You
Just hang on. Let me just
little
think.
twat. Can I get the spoon, please?
Yeah, sure.
Biscuit.
Do you like
Oh, it's all
probably
gone.
be better.
all soggy?
Oh, that's soggy.
Cheryl, can we get some more of those biscuits in here, please?
Do you want to weigh more? Or?
Yeah, I'd love to
Yeah,
hear
no,
more,
I'd love to
please.
hear more,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
conscious that Colin Firth's coming in. He's won an Oscar, so
So, what happens is he gets so annoyed with his girlfriend liking Tom Cruise. He plans to kill him. So he sees Tom Cruise. He kills him somehow. Now it's some way.
Right, how does he kill him?
Oh yeah,
Right,
that's right.
okay.
oh, hang on.
So
Okay, right.
he dies in the film in Mission Impossible 7. They're doing
Right.
that thing on the strings.
Right.
He cuts, he lands.
Right.
His body is in perfect condition.
hold on.
But how is she watching the
The
film?
film, yeah. Did they put it out even after Tom Cruise died?
No, sorry. He was filming Mission Impossible 8.
So he's okay. So
He's filming the next one.
They filming the next one. Mission Impossible. Okay, sure.
He's annoyed. He's going, I can't believe they're making more of these films.
Right.
I can't get a gig, and yet
Yeah.
they're churning this crap out.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's on his springs,
On his wires, yeah.
on his wires.
Yeah.
An accident
Spring
happens.
sounds better. He's bouncing around.
like a baby growth.
His strings cut, smash. Tom Cruise dead.
Right.
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 The bloke hears this on the radio, on the news.
Yeah.
The girlfriend's fella hears it on the news. He can't believe it. He's like, yeah. Takes his eye off the road a little bit in the celebration. Truck ploughs into the car. Right?
So he's killed as well.
Well, is he?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Little interlude. Fades up. Comes out of. You're seeing it out of his eyes. You see his eyes sort of opening. Do you know when you're seeing out the eyes,
yeah,
you
yeah,
see the
yeah,
eyelids, and you see his girlfriend there, sort of looking at him like a bit startled.
Sure.
And he's going, oh, what happened? And she's going, it's all right, it's all right. And he's going, oh, get me a mirror. She's going, I don't want to get you a mirror yet.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. What's going on?
You've had a bad accident.
What's he going to look
All
like?
mirrors out of the room and everything. He's just learning to walk. He's going, why can't I look in a mirror? And the doctor's going, no point.
Yeah.
Right,
No
okay.
point. You've got to get used to this body. Then he gets walking. It's
Yeah.
almost time to go home.
Yep.
His girlfriend comes in.
Yep.
It's her job to tell him the new news,
Oh
the
my God,
shocking
what
news.
is the news?
She says, there's a mirror, look in there. He looks in it. He's Tom Cruise.
Right.
Because he had his accident on the set. He had the accident. He ended up in the hospital.
Right.
Quick, we've got to act quick. This is the time. This is the future.
Right.
Where they use
Where they can use
bodies, all the rest of it.
So Tom Cruise is dead.
Tom Cruise dead. This
But
bloke
his
Brian.
his body's squashed, but what's his name? Brian?
Yeah.
But Brian's brain is in Tom Cruise's body. Just a donor body. He just happens to
Just
look...
happened to. That's how
Yeah,
it'll be.
it's just meat. It's
just
Tom-
like a lung donor,
Exactly.
a heart donor.
Yeah.
It's just
so is this
timing.
Brian? He just looks like Tom Cruise now. He's got Tom Cruise's flesh.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Now, at first, initially, he's annoyed.
Sorry, just practically, who is doing the voiceover then for the?
It's Tom now.
So
He's
Tom's
acting.
sort of doing an impression of this actor.
Brian's inside Tom.
His
Yeah.
name is Brian, but when you look at it on the telly, when the camera whoozes round
Yeah.
and you see him sat in his bed, it's Tom Cruise.
Sure.
Right. Okay.
His girlfriend's over the moon because she loves Tom Cruise.
Right.
He's gutted because he couldn't stand him. He can't stand the films. He's thinking,
Yeah, but he
"Oh."
must be thinking, I look like Tom Cruise, one of the most loved actors of his generation.
No,
And he's
you'd
also a
think
good-looking
so,
bloke.
but he's not because he's in shock. Remember,
Right.
he was expecting to see himself, and when he looks in the mirror,
Yeah,
he's
no,
seeing
it must
someone
be
else.
shocking. Yeah.
So
Also, the voice.
he's going, I can't stand this, and she's going, calm down, you'll get used to it. I don't want to get used to it. And she's sort of saying, look, you're alive.
Right.
Stop moaning.
Yeah.
Brian. Stop moaning, Brian. She's calling him Brian, I assume.
She says...
And Tom Cruise just had a sort of donor card that allowed his body to be given away, did it?
Yeah, it's the future.
Right.
This is 2013, Steve. Things have changed.
Clearly.
Right.
But
What's his girlfriend's name?
Claire.
Claire and Brian. Okay, great. Just a different body, just a slightly different look.
All
Just
right,
like-
so
yeah, right.
he's seen that he looks like Tom Cruise. He's shocked, but he's getting used to it.
He doesn't look like him. He is him. When he leaves the hospital...
They go, all right, Tom, I thought you were
They're all
dead.
going, it's Tom, and he's going,
Really?
oh, yeah, and he's going, oh, I knew this would happen, it's doing me head in. So he wheels out, he's in a wheelchair.
Okay.
He's going, I'm sick of this. The other patients are going, Tom, I thought you were dead. And he's
Yeah,
going,
right.
yeah. And he's annoyed. He gets in the car. He gets out there,
Right,
and he sees a poster up on the side of the road
right.
for Mission Impossible 8.
Hold on, though. It's finished. I thought he died while they were filming
It's not
it.
finished. But now, these days, he's shouting about films before they're made. And they're going
Wow.
brilliant and all the hype
But
and
they put
everything.
a poster up even
Seems
after...
premature.
No, the poster
Yeah.
was already up.
That
They haven't
seems
put it
premature,
up.
given that
Yeah,
a
well,
man
coming-
died during the production.
Doesn't matter.
I've taken the posters down.
No,
but
it's
then I
all-
don't work in Hollywood.
Right.
So the poster's up there, and he sees it as he's in the car driving past.
Yeah.
And he thinks, that can't be finished.
Doesn't make sense. Yeah.
They both look at each other. This is your chance. You wanted to be an actor. This is the chance.
Yeah.
Right.
Go back to the studio. So he goes in. Hello, you don't know me? And they go, oh, we think we do. And they go, no, you don't. I'm Brian. Tom
Right.
died on your film set.
Well, they must
Presume-
know that. They must know that
Tom Cruise
is
died.
dead. Because his family must have been
All right, if
notified.
you want to, it makes no difference. We can tweak the script.
So this is... Brian has turned up looking like Tom Cruise. He said the film company, right, who must know that Tom Cruise died on their film set. What were they going to do? When
They
they
would
got
have had to wrap it up. They would have
Well,
had
no,
to
what?
say...
You said they put the posters are up.
Yes, the posters are up before they've even finished
So they're
filming it.
cancelling the film until he walks
Basically,
in?
yeah.
Oh, so they are cancelling the film?
They're cancelling it.
Okay, so we're afraid that production has stopped on Mr. Impossible 8 due to the death of Tom Cruise.
Hang on a minute.
What?
I'm Brian.
Who's Brian? Oh my God, you look exactly like Tom Cruise. Oh, have they done that thing where they put Brian's brain in Tom Cruise's body?
Yeah.
Ah, but it's not Tom Cruise. You can't act like him.
I'm
You
an
don't-
actor.
Yeah, but he was good because he was like one of
Yeah,
the best actors.
he's not that good. I never rated him.
Yeah, but a lot of people did. And he's
Yeah,
got
a lot of people didn't. So
Right.
let me bring in a new audience for you here. I
But
can bring
can
a
you-
bit to this.
Right.
So this, of course, gives it a boost because
Right.
The
People wanna
flagging
see- people
franchise
wanna
has
see how
been
good Brian is.
rejuvenated.
the
Yeah.
press, the news that's
Yeah.
out there,
Yeah.
Tom Cruise and his new film.
Well, it's not Tom Cruise. They can't say that.
Well, it is though. When you look at him, you go, "Oh, it's Tom Cruise."
Well, no, you got to say a bloke that looks like Tom Cruise.
The body of Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
The acting ability of Brian. In a new movie.
Mission Impossible 8, starring the bones and skin and stuff of Tom Cruise with Brian's brain.
Oh, forget
Do
it.
you like Tom Cruise's face, but not his acting? And you'll enjoy Mission Impossible 8.
Can't be bothered.
Oh, Mission Impossible 8. From the people who brought you the first 7, and the hair of the bloke who was in the first 7, but with Brian doing all the lines. It's Brian. It's some cunt I've never heard of. On the 7th sequel.
No, wait, sorry, I really want to hear the ending of this movie. Please let me ask questions. You had your chance to ask him questions.
Right.
So where are we? In a sort of 90-minute running time of a movie, where are we now in the film? Are we about two-thirds the way through?
We're close to the end. I'd
Okay,
say.
so Mission Impossible 8 has been made. So what's the end of our movie? Not of Mission Impossible 8, but the movie you're making. What's the ending there?
Do we ever get to see him in Mission
I think,
Impossible 8?
yeah, but I think what happens is he becomes the person who he never liked,
Right.
and it's. I just want to get across the moral that who are we? Are we the people in our body or the people we look like? What's important in life? Is it the way you look or the way you think? And he changes because he looks like Tom Cruise. He becomes the man he never liked.
Oh, and what's his girlfriend think of this?
Who's?
Brian's.
She's loving it, isn't she? Because she always liked Tom Cruise. She's over
What
the
did
moon.
Brian look like? Who would play him in this film?
Probably. What's his name? The bloke who was in Cheers, probably.
Ted
Ted
Danson.
Danson.
Ted Danson.
So Ted Danson is Brian. So Claire, right?
This is so confusing because Ted Danson's supposed to be someone that we've never heard of, even though he's Ted Danson, and Tom Cruise is playing himself, the famous actor Tom Cruise, who is now inhabited by Ted Danson, who's not Ted Danson.
Ted Danson as Brian.
Ted Danson as Brian, as Tom Cruise, as Ethan Hunt in Mission Impossible 8.
Forget it.
Wow.
Who's played Claire?
I'm up for you. You know, that's why I've come to you. I thought
There's
you'd
an
know.
obvious suggestion.
Okay, so-
Rebecca
okay.
De Mornay.
Okay. Yeah.
She is so hot after the love of a brain or whatever it was called.
You wanna go where everybody knows your name is Brian.
For the past few years, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington have been meeting regularly for a series of pointless conversations. This is one of them.
Testing. Is that all right?
Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And the little round-headed buffoon that is Carl Pilkington.
All right.
What's been going on? What's been going on?
I've been to hospital. I was rushed to hospital, like emergency and that. Had a tube put on my knob.
You had a tube put up your knob?
Yeah.
What's the story?
Kidney stones.
Oof.
So, shouldn't really be here, to be honest, doing this. He said rest and that. Climbing them stairs on the way in.
To be quite honest, it doesn't look like you're expending a lot of energy at the moment. It's like at Zookeeper going, oh, that sloth move today. Calm down.
Yeah, but I had to get here. It's been raining. I
Yeah,
had to come up the stairs. I had to carry the computer.
yeah.
Well, that's not entirely true because your girlfriend was carrying it. I saw her outside.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
And then you handed it to me and said, Steve,
God
carry this. So
almighty.
Yeah, I know.
that's already a lie.
Christ almighty. Whinging.
Not whinging.
I'm in show business. I know loads of people that wake up every day with a sore knob, feeling like they've had their kidneys probed, and they will say they're unconscious. So they don't whinge about it. They get straight back onto it. They, a lot of them are on TV now.
Yeah, straight back to hosting game shows.
So you're rushed to hospital.
So take us through the events because it does sound quite dramatic. You started feeling a bit of pain, did you initially?
Felt a bit of pain, and I thought, yeah, maybe I just pulled a muscle or something when I've been wrestling with Ricky and that, because you don't know what damage has been done. So I just think, it'll go in a minute, and then it didn't. It got a bit badder.
It got badder, did it?
So then I
Got a bit
thought,
badder.
I was crippled. I was lying on the floor in agony, looking on the internet, looking for sort of
Still looking up
solutions.
monkey news.
No. I just put in like bellyache and stuff, and they were saying me loads of different things. And what I used to do when I was a kid, I used to always just get a cold ashtray and put that on my belly, and the coldness used to get rid of the badness.
Amazing.
The coldness got me.
It's like a witch doctor.
Yeah.
This is like
A witch doctor happens to work in a pub.
it's like some sort of 5th century remedy
Yeah.
written in mud. Coldness doth get away with the badness.
Why specifically an ashtray?
Just because they sort of old cold.
They're old cold.
I don't know what this is. I love this idea that he had the operation and he comes round and they're talking to him and his girlfriend gets a phone call and they say, Mr. Pilkington's maybe complications. He's just talking rubbish. She goes, oh, good.
Yeah, he's back to his old self. What is it? Why specifically an ashtray? Sorry, because it's old cold. I understand it's old cold.
Oh yeah, we understand. Everyone who's done a medical degree understands old cold, but old cold belly badness. If you want to buy that book, Old Cold Belly Badness, it's the history of abdominal surgery by Carl Pilkington.
No, it just
But you put it in the freezer or something first?
You can do if you want, but they're normally cold anyway. It's sort of thick glass and that holds the cold. But we don't smoke in our house, so I had to use a plate.
Oh, well, that's madness. A plate's not going to work. Famously, a plate doesn't work.
No! Oh,
So you put a plate on your belly, but that didn't do any.
No,
That didn't work. So called Suzanne and said, "Oh, I'm in agony here." She said, "Go to the doctors then."
Good advice.
So
A lot of people have done that straight away, as opposed to going through the plate ashtray.
So he went to hospital and he said, have you got an ashtray?
They went, no, especially an ashtray.
This is no smoking.
So anyway, then we get in a cab and whatever, you go there. I have an X-ray.
His voice is even more boring than usual,
Extraordinary, isn't it? Yeah.
Fuck me.
And they put me on a drip and everything. Give me some morphine and stuff. And found out that I had kidney stones. So that's why I was in hospital. And they get them out by... I don't know what's gone on, to be honest. I've got some tube inside me. From my kidney to my bladder. That's helping me stuff get about.
And so there's a little tube up the end of your knob into your...
Yeah, it's not there now. It's high up.
Right.
So it's high up between my kidney and my bladder.
But why didn't you have the thing where they go in the side? You had the choice to...
Because I said to the doctor, I'm not a doctor. I said, what do you think?
He went, stop putting yourself down, Carl.
He said,
we need you in the operating theatre now.
He just said, I said to him, what should I have done? Because he said, if you want, go home and we'll get you in again or something. Something like that. And I said, no, I might as well have it done properly. Have it done now whilst I'm here.
Sorry, the choice was have it done properly or go home.
It was something like that. He said there's something you can do, and I said, oh,
flush it out.
No, because it's too big. It's something like 7mm.
And it's basically because you don't drink enough water.
Yeah. So anyway, I said, what do you think I should have done? And he said, tube up the knob. And I said, not my favourite one of the choice, but if that's what you think. So he said, yeah, have that. He did me little diagrams, which didn't help. He was like showing...
How big did he draw your knob?
Sort of normal size.
Yeah? Was it?
It was all right.
You weren't offended by them?
But he wanted into detail. It's just, more the tube and stuff in your bladder and your kidney.
What was your ball bag like? Did he draw that?
He didn't do that bit. He left that bit out.
Okay, right.
But he said, we'll just pop that up there. And then that's when Ricky turned up to visit. Came in laughing at me because we sat there in like my underpants and stockings.
In stockings?
Yeah.
Why were you dressed
He was there. No, he wasn't in bed. He was sort of out of bed with his little drip, right? He had his little boxer shorts on, just sat there, right, in his pants, right, and he had stockings on.
Yeah, because they stop clots or something. They put them on your legs. It's like, when people have got big veins and they go on a plane.
Right. Yeah.
You said you're not a doctor.
No, but I've seen it because Suzanne's mum did it, and she put them on ridiculously early, like 3 days before we were going away, and she'd never been away before, and everything was like over the top. Do you know what I mean? She's like, I best put them on. And so I put them on, and they I don't know what it is. It's something when you're under, your blood doesn't move about the same,
right?
And it can clot up in your leg. So you wear these tight tights.
And I came in to cheer him up, didn't I?
Yeah.
Was that a nice cheery experience, him coming in?
I had a headache at the time. I think I was a bit stressed out.
Well, he's just the man you want at that point.
Yeah. Well, it's weird how it suddenly all happened quick. And I woke up and there was an Irish woman over me going, "Are you alright? You alright?" And I said, "Oh, it's stinging a bit." She said, "I'll give you some more morphine." And I sort of put my head up to have a look at my tackle because I wanted to see
If it was still there.
what was attached to it. Do you know what I mean? Because they said something about they might leave some string hanging out of it so they can pull the tube out.
It makes you talk.
So, I had a look for that. Couldn't see any of that.
Yeah.
But as she put the morphine in, all the muscles in your body go funny. My head just collapsed. But I'm in agony now, and
Are you in agony right now as we speak?
yeah, certain. But it does make you think now. Do you know what I mean? Like life and everything. I mean, it's weird how it's all happened in the last month. From seeing that bee sort of die.
No,
not really.
No. This is not a near-death experience.
It is
You
a
had a
little bit.
routine operation to remove kidney stones because you don't drink enough water.
No, I know, but
This is not a shark attack.
yeah, but it's all life-threatening. Otherwise, you wouldn't have to fill out forms, would you? Saying if everything goes wrong, Suzanne can have the house or whatever. They keep checking your heartbeats and stuff, and your blood pressure. I don't like knowing about that. I just like leave it. It's happening. Don't be messing with it. Stop measuring it.
Stop measuring it.
No, do you know what I mean?
That's the same
though?
with a knob.
It's that thing of like they put that thing.
That's what
on.
the anaesthetist was doing when you were under, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He was comparing the diagram to the actual thing.
Oh, God.
What is the closest thing sort of living that's nothing?
I don't know what you mean.
What?
What's like the closest, like, do you know at some point something's gone from nothing to something, hasn't it?
No, I don't know. I don't understand what you mean.
Do you mean what is the first and lowest and most primitive and most simple form of life?
No,
He's right here in this room, Rick.
say like when you look at a stick insect,
Right.
you go, right, there's a slight crossover there from a stick to a living thing.
No, it's not.
It didn't used to be a
No,
stick.
no, it's not. There's no biological relationship between it and a stick.
But there isn't much difference between the two, is what I mean.
Of course there is.
It's a
There
huge
isn't.
difference.
They just sit there looking like a stick. That's their skill.
Yes, but there's nothing to do with being a stick. It's like camouflage. That's like saying when a soldier puts on combat gear, you're saying he's a cross between a human and a shrub.
What I'm saying is, have you seen them weird things that just look like they sort of look like a leaf?
Yeah, there are insects that have evolved to look like a leaf.
At some point, something has had it away with a leaf.
No,
What?
at no point has something had it away with a leaf.
No, to make it look that much like a
No.
leaf.
At no point did a beetle shag a leaf. It's superficial. It's the way it looks. That's all it. That's like saying chameleons must have mated with green once. They are green.
No, but
it
what-
looks like a leaf.
But then how does it meet? How does it have relationships? It will be going around sort of having it away with a leaf.
No, it won't, because it doesn't know what it looks like. It doesn't matter. It's not like a stick insect will be talking to a stick for ages and go, "Oh, I've wasted my time here. This club's dead." Rude.
I was chatting to her. She was foxy, but she was giving me nothing.
But Dave, that's not a stick insect. That's a stick.
What are you talking about?
That's a stick. You've been talking to a stick all night. I thought.
I can't believe it. I just thought she had a great slim figure.
No, it's actually a real stick.
Well, I've been watching birds more than insects recently.
Oh,
In
okay,
the
you moved
last-
on from
in the
insects.
last week, just because I've sort of looked at the ant and the bee and that. And what I've found with pigeons is they've got wings, yet they walk a lot.
I'd love that to be a thesis where he got like a £500,000 grant from a university, and I said, well, Pilkington seems to, he's done ants and he's done bees, he's followed ants. Apparently they're not doing anything, some of them are lazy. We are granting him another £500,000. He's been working on it for a year. Please welcome Carl Pilkington.
Carl, what have you found?
Well, even though pigeons have wings, they walk a lot.
Well, I heard, and you told me this, so I know it's true.
What?
Do you know when I talked about replacing blood with coconut, what was it?
Well, one, it said coconut milk
can be used as plasma, but I haven't had that verified because it's off one of those websites where there are spurious facts.
But what do you think of that, Steve? I mean, I've sort of touched on it.
But I've just got to echo what Ricky said. I can't have an opinion unless it's been verified.
But why aren't you just being open-minded enough to go, well...
Well, no.
But
That's
that's
not
not a
being
question of being
open-minded. Open-minded isn't believing everything you hear. You don't believe everything you read, do you?
A lot of stuff you kind of go, well, that's interesting.
But what we talked about this. What about Noah's Ark?
What about it?
Well, you said you believed it because it's in book form, but according to that, didn't he get 2 of every species on a big boat? But we know that's impossible, don't we?
Depends where he was. If he was above a zoo, there would have been a lot of different stuff knocking about. That's my only problem. What I'm saying is, where was he floating where he could get an elephant, a giraffe, a cat, a dog, a gerbil? Where were all these things floating about?
Well, exactly.
Right,
That's
these
my
Old
only
Testament
downfall.
zoos, they were quite
Yeah,
quite
but
big,
exactly.
really.
But you're right. You're questioning it. How is it possible?
But I've just said, a zoo.
There's no zoo that has got 1% of all animal species.
Well, I don't know where he got them from then.
There's a couple of million species of animal. And how did he round these animals up?
Because they were drowning, so they were looking for any boat.
So they were actively seeking out an ark.
Well, they would have just been looking for anything to get hold of.
Yeah, and where did he keep them all? How did he keep them all separate? How did he...
At that point...
Oh, no, the lions ate the otter.
No, because at that point, it's that thing, innit, of how you all pull together in a bad situation.
Talk shit.
You all chip in, they're all like, oh, God, let's be nice to our neighbours.
Right, so there's spiders talking to flies and...
Well, they would have just gone elsewhere, wouldn't they? They would
What do you
have been
mean?
on another bit of the boat. The spiders don't have to knock about the lions just because they're all in it together. They get their own little area, don't they?
Well, I don't know. How big is this boat?
It's big. It's a big boat. How long... What was the warning he got from God to make it?
I don't know.
It's a couple of weeks.
Yeah. 2 of every species, Carl. How big would this boat have to be?
Yeah, it's big.
You can't just keep saying it's big, because I know in your mind you're imagining this ark. There's a boat with Noah up the front with his wife, 2 giraffes behind him, their necks there, 2 elephants, and it just and it's just like elephant, giraffe, hippo, dog, cat, weasel, couple of frogs, and a spider talking to a fly going, let's get on. But when we're off here, you're dead.
But what would you have done then? Are you saying that you wouldn't get on there because it's too noisy?
It's not a question of what
It
would
didn't
have
happen.
done.
It didn't happen.
To be honest, I'm not bothered. And they got through it, didn't they? They got through it. They're here now. We're not short of them. If anything, like I said, he didn't do us a favour because he saved too much. You can't move out there for stuff.
Oh, chimpanzee, nothing's raining down again, you fucking...
That's the jingle for excerpts from Carl's diary. This is all legitimate stuff. Ricky and I have had no input in this. This is the first time we get to read it. Went and did some shopping for stuff as it was my turn. Suzanne moaned a bit because I forgot orange juice and bought some cheap toilet paper. She always buys the expensive toilet paper. I don't know why they make toilet paper with pretty patterns on it.
That made it into the diary.
Up and out at 9 o'clock to go to the Cotswolds. Now, I think this was a gift for your girlfriend, wasn't it, for her birthday?
It was a
You went to the
birthday and
Cotswolds,
so I just went for one night.
Got the car and headed off. We found the B&B, but they wouldn't let us in the room because we were early. We went for a walk. There was not much around the B&B, so we had a quick walk around the car park and went back in. Happy birthday. The room was now ready. It's an alright room. 3 biscuits, so I ate them straight away. Like a child.
Like a dog. He runs in, jumps on the bed. No.
Get off the bed, not on the furniture. The room overlooked the car park that we'd already been round. You're staring at that window. Remember when we went there?
We'll always have the car park.
Yeah. Oh, God. The room had posh coat hangers in the wardrobe with sponge on them.
So I ate the sponge.
Don't think they are needed. We went and booked a table for Sunday dinner. I had beef. It was nice enough, but there was a family of 13 behind us. I don't see the point in going out in large numbers. They annoyed me. One of the family asked for sorbet before his next course. He was only about 11. He thought he was it. I said to Suzanne, I've had enough and needed a kip. Watched Planet Earth on BBC One. They filmed a panda for 4 weeks and all it did was sit in its cave. It did nout. If I was Fiat, I wouldn't name one of my cars after them as it suggests it won't work or go very far. It'd be like bringing out a Ford Sloth. No one would buy it.
Ford Sloth. I would love that ad campaign. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, God. The new Vauxhall Slug.
We had a look around the local village. There wasn't much to it. We did the usual thing and had a look around the church graveyard to see how old the dead people are.
Suzanne's had it over time so far. She's gone to the Cotswolds, the room wasn't ready, she's seen the car park, and now let's go and play how old the dead people are.
I like the fact that you mentioned we did the usual thing of having a look around the church graveyard. Do you make her do that every time you go away?
I like the fact, I want to know what she did for 2 hours when you slept. She just looked out at the car park, just like, memories.
But that's what you do, though, isn't it, when you go to these places? There's nothing else, unless you want fudge. Or, you walk around a church graveyard and have a look. There's nothing.
We went home. It took 3 hours to drive back. People say they go to the country to see the wildlife. I saw rabbits, pheasants and a fox on the way home. They were all dead in the road. I was just intrigued to know, because Rob from Burton-on-Trent has sent this in, and he wants to know that, because he's just started seeing someone, and he wants to know what your advice, Carl, is on how to keep her happy. So, what's your advice really for someone who's perhaps just started a relationship? I mean, you've been with Suzanne for what, 9 years?
Ages. Mm. I think you should just do what you want, and then if they like it, then they're the right ones for you. Mm. So don't go out of your way too much. I mean, I got the posh badge for a birthday. That's once a year. Rest of the time, it's kind of like, I like weird stuff. I like watching weird stuff and all that. Now and again, I won't make her watch it. I'll tape it.
This is amazing advice.
But sometimes
this is amazing advice.
Sometimes you just say, "No, come on, the bloke with the 2 heads on. I want to watch it live."
So give and take is what you're saying there.
That's all. It shouldn't be hard. As soon as it's hard, it's not right. So just go about your business. See if she joins in.
Woke up to the Commonwealth Games on the radio. Now, what are you making of the Commonwealth Games? Is that something that interests you? Are you a sports fan?
I'm not really. It just seems to be sort of wasted. If people are running fast, use it. Do you know what I mean? Rather than just trying to beat your own record or someone else's, do something where you do have to run. If you're a good swimmer, be a lifeguard. Don't be messing about going up and down.
I was swimming recently. I do a lot of swimming, and I've never quite mastered my front crawl. Just never quite nailed the breathing, because it's quite tricky, isn't it? You've got to breathe at the right moment. And so I'm in the swimming pool in the local gym, and there's a guy bombing up and down, really doing a great forward stroke. So I waited till he came up and sort of went, excuse me, mate. I was just watching you when you were doing your front crawl. I was really impressed. Could you just watch me when I do mine and tell me if I'm going wrong?
Why would you go to a man?
I know, and that was what that was the problem. Is only as I was saying it did I realise what it sounded like. I've just been watching you swimming up and down. I was really impressed.
And you're both in Speedos.
Both in Speedos. I'm got the goggles on, prescription goggles, so that I can see when I'm swimming.
But why do you need them? There's nothing in a pool to look at. It's not like you're scuba diving. There's nothing.
Hold on. Clearly, there is something to look at in a pool.
Well, no, I wasn't checking. Well, I was checking him out, but I was checking him out for swimming tips. And he just looked at me when I asked him, "Can you just watch me and offer me any tips?" And he just looked at me like I was just mental.
That is such a strange thing to say. Can you just watch? I don't know how you had the nerve to do that.
Well, it was innocently motivated.
Well, I know it's innocent, but what a strange thing to go up to someone and...
But what civilization are we living in where we can't just ask our fellow man to help us out with our forward crawl?
But we're in a society where we can't.
But you know that. It's a strange thing to say.
But sometimes it's nice to just think, no, do you know what? I'm not going to fall into the trap of thinking
agree.
he's immediately going to think I'm gay or that I'm chatting him up. I'm just going to ask him to do me a favour. There's nothing wrong with that.
What if he said, yeah, it's just good, yeah. Do you mind coming and help me with my plastering?
But it's not the same. He's in the swimming pool. He's there in the pool. He's swimming up and down. He's, it's not no skin off his nose to just offer a bit of kindly advice. If your car's broken down in the middle of nowhere and someone drives by, it's a generous thing to do. Just stop and maybe look under the bonnet and help them out.
I agree.
But I don't see how that's any different. And he did, and all he asked was that I wake him off.
For the past few years, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington have been meeting regularly for a series of pointless conversations. This is one of them.
Testing. Is that all right?
Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And the little round-headed buffoon that is Carl Pilkington.
All right.
Carl, as you're aware, you've obviously got many celebrity fans, and you've also got a new fan, Warwick Davis, who is the short actor that many people will see in films like Return of the Jedi. He also is in Harry Potter. He's 3'6", and Ricky and I worked with him recently. And far from asking us about the many celebrity names that we've worked with, the only person he was interested in talking about, of course, Mr. K. Pilkington.
He wanted to meet you, Carl.
Yeah. Well, is he all right to get on with?
Why wouldn't he be?
Just because sometimes when people aren't normal, it's just...
Sorry?
No, I just mean when someone... Like, I've met a few little people in my time. The one that I met a little fella once, and he was all right. He got drunk really quick. But he was all right, but it took me by surprise. Only because, like I've said about when I met Steve for the first time, it's only that same thing. And then if I lived with the little fella, I'm sure we'd get on a storm.
What do you mean when you met
There's
Steve?
a TV show waiting to happen.
Things wear off. That's like the world, isn't it? And it's the same with the little fella you're talking about. First time I see him, I'd be a little bit like, oh, what do you say? Whereas once you get to know him, I'm sure he'd be a lovely little fella.
I don't know where to start, Steve.
But Warwick asks, really, what are your thoughts on short people, particularly in entertainment? Because, of course, they've, throughout the ages, made an appearance, particularly in fiction. Tom Thumb, of course, the Oompa Loompas.
What do I think of them?
He's just wondering, I suppose, what your take is.
They're all right. I mean, when I was on jury duty, every day I'd sort of see one pop in, and he'd be sort of struggling getting on the chair. And he'd sort of, he wasn't struggling in a way that he felt uncomfortable. He'd obviously climbed a lot of chairs in his time, and this was just another one. And watching him, it just makes you think. You go, I should appreciate that I don't have that problem every time I have to sit down and what have you. But I don't think it's that bad. If I had to pick being really tall or really small, I'd go for the really small one because, the world's a more interesting place for him, isn't it? Everything's bigger. Do you know what I mean? We go to New York and go, wow, look at this. And they go and they go, oh, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Everything's a lot bigger. Everything's more amazing. Food portions. Everything's a bonus. So out of the two, I'd be small, and maybe that's what I'd chat to Warwick about for a bit, just to get to know him.
Brilliant.
It's a shame in a way that he's not been able to pop in. I'd like to hear that conversation.
But I've got, speaking of like weird stuff and that, I've got a new.
Well, we weren't, but go on.
No, got a new book. Do you know I had that Freaks book, Top 50 Freaks? Got a new one sent to me.
Really?
Yeah, and do you know like everything normally has a name. So like if it's the two-headed fella, they're all nicknames like that, aren't they?
They've got two nicknames, I imagine.
But this new book I've got, right, on the cover of this one, it's got like a woman with 3 breasts, right? And she's called the three-breasted woman, as you'd expect. The one face.
Why is she posing nude, though? That's what I want to know.
Tart.
Well, she looked happy. And there was a fella with like one face but 2 bodies.
Doing one face but 2 bodies.
One face, 2 bodies.
What do you mean one face, 2 bodies?
Surely one head, 2 bodies.
Head as well, but it was mainly the face. That was weird because he looked fed up. What
are you talking about? How
what
can
are
you
you talking about?
Without a head?
How can you have? What do you mean? How did it join to the neck?
No, it did. It did have a head, but the fact is, it was weird that it had one face to me.
What do you mean?
Well,
if you've got one head, you'll have one face.
Yeah, I know, but it was the fact that he had one face and 2 bodies that I didn't think.
But why do you keep saying one face and 2 bodies as opposed to one head and 2 bodies? We're all the man with one face.
Yeah, but now I've got one body.
Yeah, well, surely he's the man with 2 bodies then. Again, the description.
Roll up, see the man with one face.
I know, yeah.
So it's full of stuff like that, right? And what I'm saying is, that fella, the one-faced man, the 3-breasted woman.
He wouldn't be known as the one-faced man, is what I'm saying.
Well,
that isn't the peculiar thing about him.
Well, they all had names like that.
Right.
But there was one thing in it that didn't even have a nickname. It was so weird.
What do you mean?
It just said unidentified.
What does it look like?
Sort of testicles for eyes. That's. It just reminded me when you.
What do you mean testicles for eyes?
And what is it? Did he have a normal body?
I didn't even look at that.
Oh,
so that's what I'm saying. Though you're attracted to the oddness of the thing, and that's what I was saying about Warren when he walks in.
Warwick.
It'll be odd for a minute, and then I'm sure
for him it will be.
He'll get used to you.
I've got my head round it a bit more, and the way that there's loads of people in the world, and yet you don't see people with like dangly eyes more often. It amazes me.
I love the fact that he's amazed by not seeing freaks.
Yeah.
It's incredible. He's walking down the street going, oh, everyone's got one head. That's weird.
Suzanne, see any dangly eyes today? No, me neither.
It's weird, isn't it? What's going on in the world?
Went out the other night with the lads. There's a few of us, young, free and single.
Must look like the Swingers.
Oh, it was pretty. It looked like a boy band had gone out. It looked like,
really?
It looked like, NSYNC had hit the streets. Right, yeah. A friend of mine said, let's go to a club. Right, I haven't been to a nightclub for a long time, actually. I haven't been...
Is that because your glasses steam up when you walk in out of the cold?
That is a problem in the winter. It's very difficult to make a good impression. As you walk in, your glasses steam up straight away, and you got to take them off and clean them and stuff, and then you get a bit dirty.
On your white fronts, you pull your white fronts up through the jeans, clean them on that,
or the back of a girl's dress. But we cruised down to the club. It's one of those big sort of London super clubs, and it's a bit of a queue. I think it's a bit of a chore. But we're queuing up, we're in good spirits, we're looking at it, it sounds pretty funky, we can hear the music coming out. Been in the queue for quite a while, 25 minutes.
Forget it, 25 minutes.
Well, yeah, we were pretty excited by this point. The doorman says, hello lads. I said, yeah, we're coming please. He went, no you're not.
Really?
What? He said, you're not coming in. And he just immediately lifted the little rope and sent us away from the queue, right? And we were slightly perplexed, we were dumbfounded, we didn't know what to do. It was like, this couldn't be happening, it didn't make sense. So we just queued up what was going on. And so my friend said, well, we've got to find out why he's not going to let us in. So he goes back over.
I know what you wanted to do. You wanted to tie him up with logic. That'll show a bouncer.
Exactly.
Yeah, show him how educated you are and how you can win an argument and make him look stupid. You'll be in that club in no time.
That's what they appreciate. They love that. Because what they respect is being made to look like a fool.
Yeah, exactly.
So we went over and...
They really look up to intellectuals.
Exactly, yeah. So one of our mates goes over and he says, why didn't you let us in? And he went, because you didn't have any girls with you. No.
Now, I'll tell you this. That's kicking you when you're down. Because when you're out on a Saturday night trying to get into a club to meet women, and the reason you're not allowed to go in a club to meet women is because you haven't got any women with you, that's just salt in the wound. It's so humiliating. So, a friend of mine says that there's a VIP entrance over there. There was like a woman with a clipboard, you know, the guest list. Separate entrance. She said, you know, you've got a little bit of profile, Steve. Why don't we try and use your...
You ran home, got your Golden Globe in your Emmy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I always carry, you know, some of my cuttings with me.
Yeah.
And I felt a bit self-conscious about it. I was thinking, I'm not into this, you know, it's a bit awkward. But he said, look, don't worry, you just stand here. Just like you're having a conversation. I'll go over, I'll point him out, I'll go, oh, there's, you know, Steve Merchant over there, at the office. Or whatever.
Oh, God, Steve!
So I thought, well, the thing is, we were out, and I was a bit frustrated, and I thought, you know, we may as well try everything. So I stand there, and my friend goes over, and he has a word, and he comes back, and he says, it's fine. She can't let us in the VIP entrance because she's not allowed, but what she can do is walk us to the front of the queue, right? You can walk to the front of the queue and explain. So I think, okay, fine.
Oh, God.
So we walk past everyone else, right, to the front of the queue, right? She goes up to the guy, she says, this is Steve Merchant, office. The guy goes, I know he is, we're not letting him in.
Oh, God! Oh, God!
By now, of course, some people have recognised me, so they're trying to have my photo taken. So there's people inside the line that's being allowed in the club. I've got to lean across the rope to have my photo taken with them, even though I'm not allowed in the club. So they go, oh, all right, this is Steve, they're having the photos taken, right, camera phones and that. They're going into the club where the music, the party's kicking off. I'm outside waiting for the next chump who wants to have his photo taken. I mean, it was mental. So,
That's unbelievable.
I was furious, and then one guy, I remember he was chatting, and he goes, oh, yeah, brilliant, I love the podcast and all that stuff, I love is Carl with you? I said, oh, Carl's not out here. And his girlfriend, she went, who's that? And he went, oh, it's just Steve Merchant, he does the office, he does the thing. And she went, who cares? Who are you, Bruce Forsyth? And it's that thing when suddenly I'm being humiliated and embarrassed by someone's girlfriend. I never asked for that. I never asked for her opinion on me. I'm sorry if I don't impress you, if I'm not sufficiently famous for you, but it's not my fault. It's your girlfriend who brought it up. It was like I'd gone over to her and tried to show off, and she was annoyed. So by now I was just furious.
Oh,
so
God.
I thought, forget this.
Well, I was walking down the street, and there's a group of builders sitting down having a cup of tea. One of them goes, all right, Rick. I went, all right, mate. The other one went, not as fat as on telly. I went, oh, thanks. Not as fat as on telly. So he went with, well, you are fat, but you look even fatter on telly. He didn't say, oh, God, you don't look fat at all, or, oh, you look big on telly, but you don't look fat. Just went with, not as fat as on telly. And there's nothing I could say, but cheers, mate.
Now, when you said cheers, mate, did you say that because you were... Because I'd say cheers, mate, because I'd be a little bit scared of them.
No, I was
I'd be worried about
it's
the
like
repercussions.
sarcasm, and, you know, I laughed after. Yeah.
So you can get away with sarcasm with working class blokes.
I'm a little bit more secure with a working class male than you, aren't I?
I'm terrified of them. I feel like they're going to turn on me at any minute.
You don't feel confident sort of backing in a lorry driver?
Terrified.
Oh, right.
Because
okay.
if I did, he'd probably lean out and just go and get your dad, mate.
Yeah, not you.
Fuck off, I'm not interested.
Not you. Yeah.
Oh, he's only gonna read it down.
That jingle there signifying, of course, once again, another reading from the Diary of Carl Pilkington. Now, of course, for those of you who have not been keeping abreast of Carl's medical complaints, just bring us up to speed, Carl. You had to go into hospital because previously you'd had
I've been
treatment.
in and out, honestly. I've been in and out of that hospital just with kidney problems, really painful and what have you. And
He had kidney stones, all right?
No, but
sorted.
seriously.
I had a bit of a lie-in today because I have to get up early for my operation tomorrow. Not only have I got to have tubes shoved up my knob, but I also have to get up at 5:50. Suzanne said I could have what I want for my last dinner. It's not your last dinner, you're going for an operation.
Yeah, but you can't take things for granted these days.
Oh,
I had shepherd's pie and peas. Suzanne made it from scratch. As nice as it was annoying. Because making stuff from scratch means loads of pots, and it's my job to do the washing up. So much as the food was nice, there was loads of pans and that. People who get their last dinner on death row don't have to wash up. Got up at 5:55. You were supposed to be getting up at 5:50 on the other page. You were 5 minutes late getting up.
He's often late.
Often late. Got to the hospital and had to wait in the waiting room. There was another 9 people in there waiting to be sorted. I got called in. They sat me on a bed and took all my details down. 5 minutes later, I'd been knocked out. I got woke up when they were ripping a pipe out of my throat. I felt more rough this time. The doctor came to see me and said he couldn't find a stone, so I must have passed it. I said, "Are you sure?" He said, "Yeah, we filled your kidney with water and expanded it, and there was no hiding place." I sat in the recovery room for an hour while they found me a bed. One of the fellows who was sat in the room with me this morning got wheeled in. They couldn't wake him up. All the nurses were laughing because he didn't want to wake up. I bet they were laughing at me when I was in the theatre. Someone told me they totally strip you when they're operating. I would have looked like the alien on the Boswell incident.
Boswell! Boswell!
It's quite a nice analogy if it weren't for the fact that you said Boswell.
It's
The Roswell incident. Didn't sleep much through the night because there was a 60-year-old fella shouting at the nurse about his pillows. I don't think I slept through a full hour with one thing or another going on. My bed was next to the toilet, so I kept hearing the flush.
How do they sleep in hospitals, though? They wake you up to give you fucking sleeping pills and things, don't they? How do you sleep in there?
I don't know what it is. There's no air. There was an old fella across from me who kept breaking wind. He didn't even try and cover it. He was just of that age where he didn't care. Just like, that's what I do. I'm in the hospital, leave me alone.
What do you mean?
Just, I don't know what was wrong with him. I talked to him because at first I felt sorry for him. I was a little bit like, you know, he's had no visitors. No one's calling him up, so I'll talk to him. But then he got that familiar with me that he'd just be doing it whilst I'm chatting to him. Just like he's my granddad or something. It's just like, oh, that's what he does. It's like, well, I'm ill as well. Stop doing that. Honestly, unbelievable. He didn't even try and cover it with a cough. It was just like, that's...
With a cough! How would you cover it with a cough?
just non-stop.
Got home and sat down. My pains are coming back, but the doctor said this would happen and that my insides are still in shock, so I need to take it easy. It's 9 o'clock. I'm in agony. I can't do the diary for the rest of the day.
Jesus.
So you may as well just tell us then what happened.
Suzanne just got frustrated with me because I was rolling about on the floor and she was trying to watch Arthur. Right? So that was on the other night.
I thought it was when you lodger.
So,
And she said, look, if you're in pain, do something. She said, you know...
You went and got a cold plate.
Yeah. No, use an ashtray. Plates are for liver damage.
Got in a taxi. He filled up on the way, which was annoying.
He didn't.
That
He
is
did.
cheeky.
That really... I mean, he could
On
see
the
I was
way
in
to the
pain.
hospital.
So,
Because he's not an ambulance driver.
so anyway, he gets us there and he doesn't charge us, which is pretty decent.
Oh, that's all right, yeah.
So this gay fella came through. And,
How do you know he was gay?
just the way he was. I'm not having a go. He was a good fella. Do you know what I mean?
A doctor, you mean?
No, he was a nurse.
Right.
And he came through and just sort of went, oh, how are you? And I was like, oh, I've had better days. So he got
As
me
you
on
mentioned in the diary, I remembered the first time when I came here, they said the nurse might put a tablet up my arse. I thought the chances of that happening had just increased.
Oh, God!
Yeah, but I would have let him do it. Honestly, I was that sort of out of it. That,
Of course you'd let him do it. He's a qualified nurse.
No, but the way I am now, say if it was just a tablet for sorting out my blood pressure, and I walked in there and he went, oh, hello. And he said, yeah, let's pop that. I'd go, hang on a minute. But what I mean is that night, I would have just let him put 3 up, honestly. It's just weird, isn't it, how your body just goes, let them get on with it, and you trust anyone, don't you? When you're in that much pain and you need
And
help.
they're a qualified nurse, yes. Carl, of course, has written a poem about the experience entitled My Ward.
All I've done here, I've been through I don't know what the word is, a bad experience.
Trauma.
A trauma, yeah, I've been through a load of trauma. So I'm just finishing it off with a little sort of picture for people.
Go on then.
Me, a Chinese fella, and an old bloke who looked like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. Don't know what was wrong with him, but breaking wind was the symptoms. No one visited him or called him. He seemed quite lost to me. As well as wind problems, he had a colostomy.
Back.
When I left, I said, see you to the old man. Turned out the other fella wasn't Chinese. He was from Japan. I never found out what was up with him. You've got a little picture there, haven't you, of me sat in my ward. I'm sat there with that fella who I didn't talk to, the old fella who had wind problems. And that's what a poem is, isn't it?
But the detail about you thought he was Chinese and he turned out to be Japanese, how is that evocative? That's just a piece of misinformation.
It's just
I like it.
I imagine a lot of people making
I
the
like
same
it because
mistake.
you know why? It's like he even makes digressions within his poem.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like he could have gone back and erased that, but he didn't. He left that digression in, and I think that's great.
It's very honest. Had a late night last night because I stayed up to watch a programme about monkeys.
It's already good.
Of course he did.
It's already good.
Now, before I read on, I mean, is this not some kind of monkey news? Is this not a late return to monkey news?
Well, it's not that good.
Is it not? Whereas the other monkey news is...
Oh, chimpanzee, that's some more shit!
This is what he says. This is what he gleaned from the programme about monkeys. It sat on a bridge and wanted stuff off people to walk over the bridge.
What?
So it was acting as some kind of toll booth,
This
was
is
it?
ridiculous.
No, it was a bridge in like the jungle.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
And it's a monkey that sat on a bridge, and a lot of tourists go through the area.
No, it's a monkey
to look at them.
who realised that if he sits there, he'll get stuff because it look like it's a cute little chimp begging.
No, but every time.
Yeah, because you give a monkey, I'm as bad as him now. If you give a chimpanzee a banana, and he starts realising that humans have things to give.
Yeah, but it's all
squirrels
sorts of
learn
stuff.
that. But you don't go, you wouldn't say, went to the park, there's squirrels waiting at the gate. You have to give them a toll to go in. They're only going to give them a nuts. They come up to you every time. You fucking idiot.
Went to bed after watching it and fell asleep thinking about it on the bridge right now. It's a bit bad, really, because the monkey should work harder for its food. It made me remember the slug I saw yesterday that was eating bird poo. Nobody would ever help a slug with food like they do with ducks and monkeys. A slug's life is pretty bad. The only time they come out of their den is when it's raining.
Den.
So even their days out are depressing.
It is. Do you know what I mean?
No.
It is like, it's a horrible thing to be, innit? A slug.
I love him talking about what is it like to be a slug.
No, just because like the monkey, even though it's been quite aggressive, everyone was like, "Oh, give it some water," and it was well like kitted out. It had like chocolate bars, bottled water, some like fizzy stuff, and all that.
An iPod. It was listening to Monkey News.
He could have had one if he wanted one. It was getting away with murder on that bridge, and that's just because it was furry. Yeah, if that was like a blob, like a slug, there's no way people would be that friendly towards it. And it just annoys me how you get this pecking order for like no matter what creature you are, favouritism. And that slug was only eating that bird poo because it wasn't being offered stuff.
If it was offered toffees or whatever.
Well, it's just sad, isn't it? It's come to that. That's where its life has come to.
Yeah, but it's not a
was
mollusk
raining, like
that's
I said.
down on its fucking luck.
It didn't live in a big country house,
No,
and his
but
wife
it
left
is.
it. The
I
kids
was
went.
wa-
It started
I was
hitting the
watching
bottle.
it, and I kind of thought, and look, they do only come out in the rain, and it's depressing, and it'll probably get killed in a bit. And that was its last meal. I just
Last meal.
But it wouldn't prefer steak and chips, Carl. It
no,
doesn't
a
have.
leaf. It must like a leaf or at the end of the day, it's an insect. They love a
It's
leaf.
not an insect.
Well, it's part of that gang. It's part of that. No, it's part of
They
that.
hang out together. They hang out
It's not.
together.
Why do you think it's part of that
Because
gang?
it knocks about in the woods in the same place as a spider does. But what I'm saying is they're eating boring stuff because that is what's
It's
in
not
their
boring
area.
stuff to them. They're not. I have no opinion of it at all. They take in sustenance.
No, but where you are is what you eat. When I'm in London, I'll have beans on toast for lunch. On holiday, what? Tapas? Go on, I'll have a bit. So it's whatever you eat, what's in that area.
Suzanne went off to work and I went to the shop to buy some envelopes. The shop was empty, but the fella behind the counter was on the phone and just kept talking even though he could see I was waiting. I started to count backwards from 20. When I got to 6, he hung up and served me. I won't use the shop again. Question, why count backwards from 20?
So he's thinking, what's going to happen at 1? If I start counting from 1, he's going, well, let him carry on.
What, out loud?
So, not really loud, but like more of a mouth action so he could see who was doing it. Do you know like
Sorry, you just started miming counting backwards to a man in a shop.
He's on the phone. The
Yes.
shop is empty. I
Yes.
thought he'd like me custom. He could have served me and stay on the phone. Even though I don't like that, at least he's still doing what he needs to do.
I'd have said,
working in a
sorry,
shop."
can I just get these, please?
Yeah. Well, I stood there and I thought, it's annoying me now. My kidneys aching and I started to get a bit of a sweat on. So I thought, right, I'm going to give him 20 seconds and if he hasn't got off the phone, I'm leaving.
You are
giving
one of the
yourself-
strangest people.
It's just giving yourself a thing. I could have been stood there for
Free.
ages.
He's one of the strangest people who's free to walk
Yeah.
It's
the
about
streets.
No, I set myself a little target and I thought I don't want to waste another 30 seconds in here. I'll give him 20. It worked. He served me at 6.
But it didn't work. Yeah, but did he do it because you were doing that, or did he finish his phone call?
I don't know. I was busy counting.
For the past few years, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington have been meeting regularly for a series of pointless conversations. This is one of them.
Testing. Is that all right?
Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And the little round-headed buffoon that is Carl Pilkington.
All right.
The number of times I find a theory that he said in gobbledygook, but it's true. I think that I think he's been dealt a bad hand in the brain department. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thoughts, Carl?
Well, your brain's in two bits, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I wonder if one half is really good, the other half's messing it up.
Yeah.
That's how I
That could be
feel
the case. That
sometimes.
could be the case.
Yeah. Well, it is split into two. Yeah, and they are responsible for different things.
Yeah.
It's like these sort of families where there's a kind of really bright kid and then a sort of wayward child who just gets into drugs and stuff. Sort of like that up there
Yeah.
in your head.
Because you have quite sort of out there nebulous thoughts, and you've got a lot of common sense, haven't you?
And just having that other sense of like, this is dodgy.
What spider sense?
Just that sense where you just go, I don't know why, but something's telling me we shouldn't be here. And you go, all right, let's go. And you move from it, and you don't know what that is.
Yeah.
You don't know what's decided that. You know, it's like when you're lost. A part of my brain's got me lost, but then there's another bit that I don't know what it is where they go left. And you do, and then you go,
So
remember that time when you called me and I said I don't know where I am, and I couldn't concentrate.
think of that. I called him. I went, Carl, what are you doing? He went, I don't know where I am.
What do you mean you didn't know where you were? What you?
I got lost. I went
in London
wandering.
you got
yeah,
lost?
Yeah. And I went wandering, and then I
It's
was
when
like,
he first moved into his new place. He was walking back from his old place to his new place, and he didn't know where he was. He
How
tried
can
to
you
take a
ever
short.
really get lost in London though? I'm just it's a cabbie.
well, yeah, I don't want to do that because you feel bad pulling one over and then saying, where am I?
Yeah, they don't appreciate that, do they?
But I found my way back, didn't I?
Yeah.
But you told me
20
one
minutes.
time that you much prefer getting lost. You love wandering around and getting lost. You
Yeah,
said that's much better.
Going
Yeah,
down
it
the
was a cold
cul-de-sac.
day. It was a cold day. I just wanted to be at home. I had things to do. There's a time and place to be lost.
Well, go on.
Well, a place
What's
you
the
don't
place?
know.
What's
and
the place to be lost?
Somewhere you don't know.
Right, good. Okay,
And the
specific.
time?
The time.
Time when you're not in a rush.
Right.
But that time I was in a rush and I was
And-
cold.
So a typical argument in your head is what? I'm lost. I'll do one side of the brain, you do the other side of the brain, okay, in your head, okay? Carl,
What?
this isn't where we should be. You want to go home, didn't you? This isn't your house, because it's a field. You live in a house, don't you? Why are we standing in a field? This isn't your house. You're meant to go home, but you've walked into a field.
No, but that wouldn't. I've never been that lost when I'm walking across a field. At the edge of the field, I'd go, hang on a minute, this isn't right. I wouldn't get in the middle. I wouldn't go that far. I'd go, right, I definitely shouldn't be here.
You did once. You were in the middle of a field, and your dad had to rescue you
Yeah,
and carry
that's
you
when
through
I was
the
a kid because I was reading as I was walking. That's,
And he never read again.
but there's another sense. I was in the middle of nettles there.
Yeah.
I'd walked. It was at my brother's wedding in Cornwall, and I was walking near a cliff edge.
Reading a book.
And okay, so Walking. Carl, I know you're enjoying this book. Can I have a word with you? Just look past the book a minute. There's a big drop.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened, and then
Right.
that's when my other senses went, hang on a minute, I'm being stung. Load of nettles and stuff. And I just had to wait there for ages until my dad sort of thought, where's Carl? I was there for about an hour and a half.
He's read a book.
Fuck me like a cartoon.
But why are you wandering off reading a book when it's your brother's wedding?
No, this was like, we were in, I think it was St Ives in Cornwall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in St Ives, and just, it was a nice day in that. There was no telly in the place. It was a horrible house. It was haunted, actually. No, honestly.
No, not honestly. It wasn't haunted. There's no such thing as ghosts. So you saying honestly it was haunted means fuck all.
It's the weirdest place and weirdest sensation I've ever had. I spoke to a woman called Mrs. Battersby.
Right.
Who sat on my bed keeping me up all night. My mum came up, she said, you look shattered. I said, yeah, I haven't had a kip all night. She said, why? I said, I've been talking to Mrs. Battersby. She said, who's that? I said, no, some old woman. Now, I can't remember it now, but that's what I did then. And then...
Sorry. So Mrs. Battersby didn't exist. Is that what you're saying? She was the ghost?
Yeah.
Wasn't the landlady?
No, there's no landlady. It's a big house, about 12 bedrooms in it.
Right.
Dead cheap to stay there because it was a wreck. My
Were
mum
you
and dad
ill?
went out
Were you
one
ill?
night.
Did you have flu at the
No,
time?
I had nothing like that. I just...
So you were sitting up, you were awake, and you were having a conversation with Mrs. Battersby.
What did she look like?
I can't remember. I can't even remember having the chat now.
Right,
But
so-
at the time, I was like, oh, she just doesn't shut up. Chatting all night.
So you don't remember this happening? Or you do remember it happening?
No, I remember that, like, if I see my mum now and I mention St. Ives, she'll go, oh, yeah, Mrs. Battersby. She remembers coming in, because she was older than me, wasn't she? So to
Who?
her, my mum.
Was she?
How old was Mrs. Battersby? She was older than both of you.
She was old because I'm calling her Mrs. Battersby. If she was my age, I'd probably say, oh, it's Susan or whatever.
Right, sure,
You
Miss
call older
Miss
people
Battersby.
by the surname, don't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, so she kept me
How
up
old
all
were you?
night. I know, I'm thinking of pictures at the wedding.
Why do you have to go through other things to just have a memory?
How old do you reckon you were?
I don't understand why you haven't got direct access to your memories.
How old do you reckon you were?
Your mum was older, though, yeah?
You must have a vague idea of when this
I'm
event
thinking
was.
about it now. I'm thinking. I'm
Okay.
picturing the picture of myself at this wedding.
Okay.
And how old are you? What are you doing?
How tall were
I'd say I
you?
look about.
How were you?
I say I look about 7 or 8. Looking at the picture.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So Mrs. Battersby is chatting away to you. You don't remember what she said, but you do remember having the conversation.
No, he doesn't remember it
I
at
don't
all.
remember the chat now.
Well, then
So-
why are you telling?
It's
You
not
must
your
remember it
memory.
because you're telling us about
It's not
it.
your
Because it's a
memory.
memory. My mum's reminded me of it.
Yeah, but all it says is, this is so far removed. This is hearsay that your mum said you spoke to a ghost once, and you don't even remember the ghost.
Mrs. Battersby.
No,
Yeah,
you
no, but
remember
you
the
don't
name
remember
only because
her.
your mum reminded you of
In a
it.
court of law, if there was a ghost court, they go hearsay, thrown out of court.
Right.
You
yeah.
don't have a memory of Mrs.
No,
Battersby.
look, I know that when I was a kid,
Yeah.
I ate a beetle. I ate a beetle because I thought it was licorice. Now, I can't remember that now.
You can't remember that, but you know it happened because your mother told you it happened.
Exactly.
Right. But the fundamental thing is that we can believe we can believe you ate a beetle, right? Because that is something that could happen in real life.
But-
what we're questioning is that you spoke to a ghost.
I thought it was licorice. What sort of beetle was it?
Just one of them standard beetles, just a little black shiny one.
Thing is, right, a couple of years ago, we were in the Ivy, and the food came, and there's a big blob of wasabi, right? It was like called an Oriental hors d'oeuvre, right? And I looked over at Carl, and he started going, drinking water. I said, what have you done? He said, I heard that. I said, that was a blob of wasabi. He said, I thought it was one mushy pea.
That's a classy restaurant. They're serving one mushy pea.
Well, they do that, don't they?
Wow.
Small portions. It's all trendy, isn't it?
I love the fact that it's exactly the same thing. But they've swapped beetle for wasabi and licorice for pea. You see things, you see something, you
It's a
think...
good job you remembered that anecdote, though, because he doesn't.
Exactly, yeah. In years to come, we'll be going, ate some wasabi once. Did you?
Yeah.
Well, according to Ricky, I did, yeah. I was in the Ivy. I thought it were mushy pea.
So hang on, I just want to go back to Mrs. Battersby because
What
you
other-
confidently said it was
most haunted.
It was the most haunted place,
Yeah.
but you've got no real evidence for it because even you claim you had this encounter, you don't even remember it.
But you don't remember everything in life,
But you
do you?
supposedly had a conversation with a ghost.
I know, but I didn't know. When I was younger, I
But you
didn't think
remember
that
the
was a
specifics
ghost.
of an ant walking around.
Yeah, so you thought, so I see. If you'd have had the memory, it would just be a nice old lady on the end of your bed all night.
Right.
And then...
Then when I mentioned it, my mum was saying, what do you mean, Mrs. Battersby? Who's Mrs. Battersby?
Right.
When you're a kid, you're not terrified, are you?
No.
Nothing scares
I mean,
you.
I'm beginning to think, who the fuck is Mrs. Battersby, I must admit. But
So, yeah, that was... but it was a weird place. I mean, there was no telly. All they had for sort of company was a calculator.
Carl, you're
Wow.
the strangest little
That's
man that's ever
extraordinary.
lived. Company had a company.
No.
There goes Carl with his friend. What's his friend? Oh, it's a little...
It's a Sanyo 4197G.
I love that. That's amazing.
Oh, calculator, do that boobs thing again.
My mum and dad used to go out. I stayed in there.
Just shots of him with his calculator on the beach. My only friend was a calculator. Oh, God. Just imagine shots of him in Vietnam just carrying Tommy.
When the batteries died, they had to have a funeral for him.
His barrels roll over the floor. Oh, fucking hell. The only company was a calculator. Before I used to knock around with a brick. Oh, God. Oh, fuck me.
We have to face facts here.
Go on.
The world is old.
Hold on. Right, okay.
The world is old.
The world is
That
old.
is a fact.
Yep.
That is a fact.
It's the same as if you've got a gran who's 70.
Yeah.
There's not much you can do for her. You can say you're warm, but at the end of the day, she's still going to be shitting her pants. She's still going to be, forgetting things and all the rest of it. And you might be taking care of her, but at the end of the day, the good days are gone.
Right.
Yeah.
So, in a way, like the world, it's got to a point that it's old. And yeah, we can say turn the tap off, turn the lights off, close the windows, stop letting heat out.
The earth, metaphorically, is shitting its pants.
We are not the same as the first man that nature made.
No. No, we're not, no.
And that's where we went wrong. And if we didn't interfere at that point, we might have been more suited to the conditions now. Auntie Nora, I'm cold. She doesn't want double glazing.
Why not?
Just because she's worried that when people come round and sort of knock on the door, she won't hear them because it's all sort of double glazed.
But they're knocking on the door.
No, but she said that she didn't like a bell. It makes her jump too much.
Well,
It's hard,
how do they get in now?
Well, it's the thin door and thin glass. You hear it. It's not like soundproof like double glazing is.
What? So they have to knock.
They knock like that on the door, and she can hear that because
But
it's
why
like
are
a
they going
wooden
to double
door.
glaze the door? Is it a glass door?
No, they want to put that PVC door in with
Hang
the
on, so
thicker glass.
she's scared by... You don't want a doorbell because that alarms her, but the knocking is fine.
The knocking's fine because you get to know knocks.
Why don't they have a bell that when you press it, it makes that noise?
Because they haven't done that yet.
Well,
Maybe
yeah,
that's an
you
idea.
could do a sample of a like that. So when they press the doorbell, she hears. That's easy. That's done. You could sort that out for her.
Well, I don't want to start getting dragged into it because...
Why don't you make Auntie Nora a bell that knocks?
Well, it could be done. But the fact of the matter is it isn't, and that's why I shouldn't want double glazing.
But why don't you tell her, say, Auntie Nora, have double glazing, be warm, be safe. Hear the knock. Hear the knock of the bell on the doubly door. Auntie Nora, hear the knock of the bell on the doubly door.
She could fart until she's blue in the face. No one will be able to hear.
But look...
No one will be able to smell it.
But this
no
is
double
it.
glazing.
This is
tremendous.
it. This is it, though, isn't it? She wouldn't be around now if it wasn't for people interfering, coming up with tablets, making weak people live longer.
Right. You're annoyed at that. You're
I
annoyed.
love it. He's such a fascist, isn't he? Auntie Nora, a weak person who has been allowed to live.
Yeah.
No, but
Eugenics is where you'd be happier.
But don't you see what I'm saying, though? The way the world... We've changed more than the world has. We can't handle anything now, can we? Look at it, like I say, a bit of snow, a bit of cold, everything comes to a standstill.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't go out, it's dangerous, you'll slip over, people having time off work.
Yeah. What would you do, right? If you run a business, right, your business could go under, right? It snows a bit. You got 10 employees, you're paying them well, and they go, I can't come in today, Carl. It's a bit icy. I'll do it, okay? Right, they're snowed in, right? You're running the business. What are you running?
It's a... let's not... I'm not going to big myself up. It's just it's a factory. It's U-bends. U-bends. U-bends for...
Toilet. So you run a... Okay, right, okay.
Plumbing,
so plumbing, you pay them all right, don't you?
I'd say most of them are on above average.
So you're there. What time do you get in?
About 8:45.
8:45, waiting for them to come in at 9, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, right. It's snowing. It's a bit snowy. You got there. It took you a bit while. You'd set off early, did you? Or?
Gave myself a bit more time because I had to put the heating on the car.
Okay. Ring, ring. Ring, ring.
Hello, KP Plumbing.
Oh, is that Miss Pilkington?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Who's that?
Oh, it's Sheila. Listen.
Sheila, shouldn't you be here by now?
Yeah, no. I was going to set off.
Well, we'll set off now. Stop wasting time. We've got a big order on.
No, I know.
We're all on a bonus here if we get this done. I'll see you in 10 minutes, shall I?
I can't make it.
What?
I can't make it.
Why not?
The car won't start and it's slippy on the drive. I just can't get out.
Get the transport. I'll see you I'll give you 20 minutes, all right? Don't worry about it. Thanks for calling. I'll see you in a bit.
I'm also scared of the ice. I'm scared of the ice. I'm not gonna come in today. It's dangerous.
So what are you going to do?
Well, I'm gonna wait until the ice and snow goes away, and then I'm gonna come in.
But they're predicting it's going to be about 2 weeks before they clear all this.
I can't really travel in this. It's a bit dangerous.
Well, I'll tell you what. You stay at home. I'll replace you. Because I need someone to come in with
a big... What, are you firing me because I can't get into work with this...
Well, I got into work, Sheila.
Yeah, I know, but you don't live with me, do you? If you did live with me, then you'd probably see how...
It was bad where I was as well, I'm here.
Do you know how bad it is here? When you come round and have a look how bad it is here, you drive my... Tell you what, you come round and drive my fucking car because I'm snowed in, you fucking calling me a cunt. And I'll tell you, if you fire me, I'll take you to a tribunal, you bald-headed wanker.
Right, you're fired anyway for that.
You're in fucking trouble then.
Right then, see ya. Right, and then she's done with. She's weak anyway.
Ring.
KP Plumbing.
Hiya, is that Miss Pilkington?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Hi, it's Bob here.
Bob.
Yeah, bit of trouble. In my area, it's absolutely snowed. It's possible. No one's getting out. I live near Sheila.
Bob, listen. Yeah, well, Sheila's just been on. She's saying she can't get in either.
She can't. I've just seen her out there trying to dig her car out, and she's hurt her back. She's really tried hard to get to work, but she can't do it because she's not very rich, and her car doesn't work. She hasn't got the right tyres, and there's no public transport. They've cancelled those. Wrong snow on this country. I'm not going to make it in today, son. So I'll see you tomorrow, right, boy?
Well, no, you're saying you'll see me tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you'll probably call up tomorrow with the same thing.
Well, only if it's snowing still.
Now, listen,
it might not
I can't run a business like this, Bob.
Yeah, it's not my fault, is it really?
So go round to Sheila's and like slag me off if you want. But I'll tell you what, you're not coming back here. Oh. Fuck off. One chance. Give them one chance.
Oh. Well, you didn't even give them one chance.
No, because they've done it before.
Oh, fucking hell.
Just annoys me.
Oh, chimpanzee, that has only gone and written it down.
The jingle there to announce yet another reading from Carl Pilkington's diary. My mum called me to ask me to look in some of the magazine shops in London for a magazine that she can't find. It's called UFO Data. I said, I ain't heard of it. She said she's seen an advert for it in one of her ghost magazines.
I love the fact that she can't even find the magazine about unidentified flying objects.
Yeah. So we get a clue.
She thinks, I think I saw something, but I don't know whether it was a magazine or not.
So we get a clue there as to why you give any credence to this crap.
Yeah, well, it's
Mama Pilkington's into the same shit.
There's a lot of space out there, isn't there?
She said that this magazine has got a news story about how Aldrin (astronaut) has got some evidence that aliens exist.
Yeah.
I told her that I found out today that the days are about 36 minutes longer on Mars. We chatted about how this is how they are more advanced than us. Do you mean the Martians?
Yeah, if they've got a longer day, that's more time that they're awake working on stuff.
Right, yeah, we know that makes no difference at all.
No, it does.
Think about it. Think about it.
Look, think about it. 6 o'clock here.
Yeah.
People are going, see you tomorrow. I'm going home. They'll be going, another half hour. They've got a longer day. Productive.
And that's why they're able to fly.
That's why they're whizzing around. It adds up, doesn't it, over the years?
Christ almighty, what drivel.
Suzanne got in from work at 11:30. I told her about the UFOs in Mars. She said she's too tired to chat. I said, does it mean aliens will be more tired than us, or do they get more sleep? I got no answer. I love it when Suzanne goes in. She never indulges you.
No, it scares her. Anything with ghosts and UFOs, she sort of...
It doesn't scare her, it bores her.
No, it freaks her out. Scares her.
Okay. Read about a pub that is getting some stick because they've stopped a horse going in. It's been the horse's regular for ages, but there's been some new owners who've taken over the pub and they said they're serving fresh food and don't want a horse in there anymore.
Oh, God.
I met Suzanne after she finished work and we went for a brew in another cafe.
God, Jesus.
It's always having a brew in a caf.
It's like a sitcom.
It is. Suzanne said I looked tired and fed up. She taught me some way to breathe that will relax me. I wasn't feeling that relaxed, though, because the person behind the counter was banging about making a coffee. Noise stresses me out. I wonder if less deaf people die of stress than people with working ears do.
Oh, it's the theories. It's the
It
theories.
is such a noisy world, though, isn't it?
It is. London is noisy, very noisy.
I think just everywhere, just noise in general. They were saying how like every noise has been used at least 5 times or something.
What do you mean?
Because there's only so many noises in the world.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, there's only so many
What
noises.
do you mean every noise has been used 5 times? I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means.
Because
Every noise once has been used at least 5 times.
there's only so many noises. It's like a piano, isn't there? There's only so many notes.
Yeah,
And there's only so many noises.
right.
But because there's so much stuff, the same noises are being used again.
I don't know what that means.
By whom? Who's reusing the noise?
By whatever.
So a
you'll have-
woodpecker when it's woodpecking?
Yeah. Some birds make noises that would sound like a Ford Escort, just because there's only so many noises that people can use.
What is he talking about?
Noises are a byproduct. Outside an instrument,
Yeah.
noises are a byproduct. A machine, they don't go, watch me make this noise, make this machine. It makes the noise it makes when it's doing something.
But why does it make that noise? Why not pick another noise?
They don't pick the
Who's
noise.
picking the noise?
The printing press makes the noise because it's the sound of the thing
Yeah.
going down.
Yeah,
you
so
know,
the printing-
a hammer makes that noise because that's what it does. No one's going, oh, can we make this make a different noise? No, it's a byproduct.
I know. So there's only so many noises.
I don't know what you mean. When Stevenson's rocket came and I went, can you make it go? That's the noise it made.
I know, but then, say like a new frog comes out.
Oh, what do you mean a new frog comes out?
They find a new type of frog.
Right.
It makes a noise, and
Yeah.
they'll go, "Yeah, I knew it was going to sound like that."
What are you talking
Because
about?
there's only so many noises. No animal comes out and makes like a weird noise, and you go, "I've never heard that noise before." They go, "Oh, that sounds like a chicken," or "It sounds like a Ford Escort," or there's only so many
What
noises.
frog sounds like a Ford Escort?
Well,
No,
there
but there'll be
can't be
some
many
animal.
because you've used Ford Escort twice as an analogy here. So you're running out of noises. You've come up with chicken and Escort so far.
I can't
But
explain
the problem
it.
is, a Ford Escort sounds a bit like an Austin Allegro. So
I
don't
know, yeah. And a chicken, you're ripping off the turkey, you cunt.
For the past few years, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington have been meeting regularly for a series of pointless conversations. This is one of them.
Testing. Is that all right?
Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And the little round-headed buffoon that is Carl Pilkington.
All right.
Robert Nozick did this thing that if you could go into a flotation tank and you led a whole virtual life and it was the best life possible, you did exactly what you've always wanted. You became the person you wanted to be, you did the best things you could ever dream of doing, and you literally couldn't tell the difference. So it was your life, okay? And you lived your biological life out in that tank and died at 80 and had the best life any person could ever have. You could pre-program it. Would you get into that tank knowing what you know now, knowing that you will have the best life ever, with no heartache, no upset, no loved ones dying.
So what's happening when I'm sort of having a packet of munchies?
Yeah.
Am I having them, or are they imaginary?
They're imaginary, but you can't tell the difference. It's the best packet of munchies we've ever had. I love the fact that you went into the flotation tank, and your one proviso was, are munchies as good?
Yeah.
No,
absolutely.
I'm just taking it back to basics.
That is
Right.
basic.
You've got to
yeah.
pre-program your life. That's where you'd start, is it? Munchies must always taste magnificent.
Well, it's just if you can still enjoy the basic things in life, then that's
Yeah,
when you can't go wrong.
You do. You enjoy them. It's the life you'd ever want to live, and
Yeah,
you're
bit
living
dangerous,
it.
That. Bit
Sorry?
dangerous.
Bit dangerous.
Why? Go on. Why?
Just, I don't know, because sometimes I think things don't happen for the best, right?
Right.
Sometimes you can sort of think, oh, I'll enjoy that if that happens. And then it doesn't happen, and you've had time to think about
But
what
this
would
is
have happened.
perfect. No, this is built in, because whatever happens is for the best. So not only when you're in this flotation tank are you enjoying yourself, that things just keep getting better or staying as
So
good.
you never have a bad day.
You never have a bad day.
But how long would that last for before you go and fed up with this?
Well, why would you get fed up with it? Because you do something else. It's the perfect life.
Bear in mind, you're not aware that you're in the flotation tank. You've made that deal, but then once you're in there, you don't know. You're not aware of being in the flotation tank. You're living your life, and it's perfect. You're happy. Well, we don't know how you would be happy. You just have munchies every day, and
Well, yeah,
keep
you'd get in
smiling
it then. You'd get in it. If you don't know you've got in this tank, if I somehow go to bed at night, someone injects me in the head, and then they go, right, stick him in the tank now, and then I wake up, packet of munchies there, sun's out, Suzanne goes, oh, it's a nice day, we'll go and do something nice. And I go,
Right.
yeah, I'm meant to be at work. And she goes, no, I don't have to go in today.
Right.
I go, all right, let's go out then.
Now, what's interesting there is that within this scenario, I gave you any life, you could do anything, and you chose the exact life you've got now, except Suzanne's got a day off. Now, I both love that.
Well, I was a
and
bit
sort of-
suspicious, though, that she's just taking a day off.
No way,
willy-nilly.
it's not happening now. It's not happening, really happening. You could do anything you like. But I like the fact now you're even questioning it and you're not in the tank, and why has Suzanne got a day off, right? Now, I love that, because that suggests to me that you're a nice, happy, satisfied, whatever you want to do it, contented person who's got the perfect life. However, it's almost like you haven't fully understood the possibilities. For example, you wake up, there's the munchies, sunny day, Suzanne's not at work. You go, why aren't you at work?
half
She
a
goes
day
to
off.
you, hold on though, why are you flying? And you go, I just can. But you hadn't even thought that maybe you could fly or swim or hold your breath.
you just
No,
gonna
no,
have some
but-
munchies for
but
breakfast.
Hang on a minute, this is day one.
Oh, okay.
When you go on holiday,
Yeah.
like I said before, you don't turn up and go, right, it's 1 o'clock, jet ski for half an hour, bungee jumping 40 minutes after that, let's have a nice roti,
Yeah.
and, try a little cocktail.
And what do you do? What do you do when you arrive there?
Well, you get there,
Yeah.
the fella takes your case to the room,
Right.
you have that panic of, am I going to give him too much money? I don't know the currency well enough yet, I don't know how much
More
things
information
are.
than we asked for. And
No.
the most mundane scenario I've ever heard.
No, but this is what happens in real life.
Okay, you're just telling us what happens when you go on holiday. What's your point?
Okay.
Because you don't want fun all in one go, you want to build to it, because that's sometimes part of it.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So-
anticipation. Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Yeah, that little bit.
Yeah.
It's about things taking time, innit? Then looking back at the journey and going,
Yeah.
how did I get here?
Okay, well,
Right.
can I ask a question? Because sorry, what I'm fascinated to know is if you decided to sign up to the float tank idea. Okay, you can design your perfect life.
But I'd prefer not to
Well,
know I'm doing it.
No,
You
you
won't
don't. You
know.
won't. But I
You
want to
won't
ask
know.
this question. Imagine Ricky and I are the doctors. Okay, we can put you in this tank. All we need to know from you now is what your perfect life is. We're going to program it in the computer. You're going to wake up tomorrow. You won't know this conversation's happened. You'll have the perfect life. What, if you don't mind, we're going to take notes now. What is the perfect life? You're still obviously living with Suzanne.
We've got
but
munchies.
What else?
We've got munchies and we've got sunshine.
But what else would you like in your magical life your ultimate life?
Yeah, I don't like this idea. Suddenly Suzanne's never at work. I just think you need a bit of the badness to have the goodness.
Right.
right.
But the difference is when I next get British Gas round, they go, "Oh, Mr. Pilkington, yes,
Oh my God!
The boiler
so
is
he's like
fixed.
to have a virtual life, so his boiler's fixed.
No,
Yeah, but so your boiler
no.
still goes wrong in your dream, but it
you
gets
don't.
fixed.
But you don't
Yes.
even need a boiler. You could be the perfect
But
temperature
this
all the
isn't
time.
the Caribbean anymore. I don't like the idea of too much change. I don't want that much of a change.
But
to
you
my life.
won't realise, it won't feel like change.
Yeah, but it's that old chestnut, isn't it? It's the thing of, like, what's my problem then? You've got the problem gene in your head. You've got to fill it with a problem.
Yeah, he's not a geneticist.
Got the problem hole in your head.
No, it's
Got
not.
the problem hole in your head. Shut up, Ricky. Let him say what he needs to say. He's got a problem hole in his head.
He's got a problem hole in his head. It's called his mouth.
Yes.
Right, that is your problem hole.
So, if someone comes up and they go, I've fixed your boiler.
Sorry, could I just ask
let him speak.
Let me ask one question, Steve. Is the problem hole different from the problem gene, or is that a new term for...
No, you put things through the problem hole and they end up in the problem gene. You feed something in the problem hole...
Is that right, Carl?
It goes through the problem tube into the problem gene.
Okay, so it's down the problem conduit. Okay, go on. Right. So it's better to have... You've got a problem hole in your head, right?
Yeah. So you stuff in a problem into the problem hole.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Now, all the little problems can't get in because of the big problem.
Right. Is that good or bad? It's a
But
good
that's
thing
not
to
true,
have.
is
The
it?
problem hole is a standard size on everyone.
Right.
No, but that's
Shut up, Ricky. Let him explain.
Now, Ricky, I'd say his problems are not even problems.
Well, how big's his problem hole?
Same size as mine.
Same size as yours.
But his problems are all little ones. They're like, you've got like a load of Skittles. I've got a big cream egg.
Right, but why...
Shut up! Let him speak. He's just expanding on his idea. Why do you
what is
keep
his
interrupting?
problem? What is your problem that's so big compared to my little Skittles?
Loads of problems. You get stressed out about things that I'm like, what's up with you? You get annoyed easily with stuff. People chewing loudly. Or someone breathing loudly. Or someone coughing. Whereas I'm like, that doesn't matter. Like you say, to you, the boiler is like, get it ripped out, put a new one in. It's not as easy as that.
It is.
And that's why the problem ball is growing.
He's got a gene, a ball and a hole.
So the problem ball...
No wonder there's no fucking room for a brain.
Right, shut up. Let me ask... I want to clarify this. The problem ball exists in life. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It has to go through the problem hole, down the problem tube, into the problem gene.
Into the problem gene.
Right, now then. So you've got the problem ball. Everyone's problem hole is the same size.
Okay.
But some people's problems are smaller, so they can slip straight into the problem hole.
I've got a question, Stephen.
Wait.
And listen, has anyone got a pair of problem balls? Or is it always just...
Can ladies have a pair of problem balls?
No, because Hitler had one problem ball, didn't he? But could anyone ever have a pair of problem balls, is my question to you.
And some people's problem balls are much bigger than another man's or another woman's, right?
Yeah,
Right.
depending on the problem.
So you could have you could have a pair of problem balls and one problem hole.
The way I'm saying
Supposing I came to you and said, listen,
but a man starving in a foreign country might have huge problem balls.
he might have, but if I went to a doctor and said I've got a problem hole, and the doctor said, well, let me see it, and he said, well, let me see your problem hole, and hanging down in front of my problem hole was a huge pair of problem balls. What would he treat first? Is my question.
Well, would he look into the problem hole?
He said, he'd say, take your problem genes off. Right? I want to see your problem hole clearly.
But he would put his hand or his finger into the problem hole to try and remove the problem ball, wouldn't he?
He could feel the problem balls, but he'd have to insert his finger in the problem hole, wouldn't he?
Right.
Okay, so Carl, go on then.
I'll just get in a tank.
What do you do towards enjoying your life?
I don't normally enjoy the thing when I'm doing it. It's after. It's like that holiday. When I was on holiday.
What do you mean? You don't enjoy the thing when you're doing it, it's after? What's an example of not enjoying the thing at the moment, but you do after?
You didn't enjoy the holiday?
Say like the holiday. I've just
So
been
you enjoyed
away.
coming off holiday? What?
I want to hear it. You enjoyed the holiday. You didn't enjoy the
When
holiday.
I'm there, I had fleas biting me.
Yeah.
I had mosquitoes biting me.
Yeah.
There was a funny smell of damp in the bathroom. I was worrying, getting in the sea, thinking, is the stonefish in it? Right? Now, you've got all that going on.
Yeah.
When you get back, you forget about the damp smell. You forget about
you
the
haven't.
fleas because the bites have gone. They're not as much of a problem.
Yeah.
So then your brain starts going, well, hang on, what did I enjoy? And you go, I enjoyed the dorada fish I had that I've never eaten.
Yeah.
That's an experience. At the time, I wasn't enjoying it because I'm thinking, when I get back, I'm going to have fleas on me again.
Yeah.
Now, when I get a menu given to me in a restaurant,
Yeah.
I go, right, what am I going to do here?
Yeah.
Right, well, when I came here, I thought I'd have some lamb chops. They've got lamb chops, great. Wonder how much to give you, because I quite fancy this pudding they've got.
Right.
Now, I have the lamb chops, it comes with extra veg. I eat it, I enjoy it. The pudding I wanted, it's gone out the window, I've got no room for it now.
Yeah.
But you enjoyed the lamb chops.
You enjoyed lamb chops. You can only get packed so much. If you're enjoying all your life all the time, there's no point in regretting anything.
That's just greed.
No, but I was looking forward to the pudding.
Well, you shouldn't have eaten all the veg.
Yeah, but I was enjoying it at that point.
But then you take the pleasure that you had at that point.
No, because I wanted a pudding.
Yeah, but
But you didn't want to put in, or you've had to put in.
No, because I would have had it for the sake of having it. And then it's
Yeah,
ruined.
but I don't know what the whinge is there. You had a lovely meal. You had some lovely lamb chops. You enjoyed the hour.
Because when I read that they had like profiteroles on there, I
Yeah.
thought I fancy a couple of them.
yeah,
And the chance has gone. I'm probably not coming back to this restaurant now.
yeah, but you
'cause
haven't missed a chance. You had the chance. You didn't want to take it because you were full up with lovely lamb.
it's
What's
not
the
like you
problem?
didn't.
I had a spicy sausage.
Right.
Now, the problem was, I was enjoying it, but I thought this is the spiciest sausage I've ever eaten.
Right.
Now, I could only enjoy that the next day night when I knew that it's
The
gone
next day
through my
night.
body, there hasn't been a problem. So I'd go, that was a nice sausage, I'd have one of them again.
Right. That was a nice sausage. But then the next time, surely you'd be enjoying it because you wouldn't have the trauma of the next night because you'd lived through it, and now you're just enjoying
But
the
the
lovely
problem-
spiciness and the sausaginess of the spicy sausage.
Yeah, but the problem is, once you've enjoyed something, it's very difficult to replace what you got from that spicy sausage the first time.
Then why are you looking forward to having another one?
Because let me tell you,
Go on.
Auntie Nora, I've told you she prepares all the food, right? She's got them all in bags in a freezer, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Right.
Now, what she normally does, she makes a big pot of curry.
Right.
She goes, what I'll do, I'll pop that in the Monday bag and I'll pop it in the Thursday bag. It's the same curry. Now, she has it on the Monday.
Yeah.
She loves it. She thinks I got the mix just right there. The spices are good. The chicken was tasty.
I'm looking forward to Thursday.
I'm looking forward to Thursday. I can't wait for Thursday.
Yeah.
I'll call her up on the Thursday evening. I'll go, how was the curry that you had on Monday that you said you were having again on Thursday that you enjoyed? Didn't enjoy it. Why is that? Dunno. Just want the same. She was expecting too much. And that's the problem. If I had that spicy sausage again, it's never going to live up to it. So forget the spicy sausage. I've had it. I've experienced it.
So you never
If someone
have another
says, well, it depends.
So do you have anything twice ever?
Maybe not.
But this is insane, Carl,
this
because
is-
aside from you and your Auntie Norma and presumably all the other Pilkington clan, or all as weird as one another, why you phone her up and ask her what she's having for tea, I don't know.
Yeah, that's one thing.
What, and
That
that's
shows
not
you
only
that-
what is
that-
happening on Monday, but what you're going to do on Thursday as well. I'll make a note of it in the Auntie Norma food diary.
That's proof that you really aren't enjoying your life now.
Exactly.
To go, right, oh, fucking
Well,
hell.
what
can
else
I-
do you say
But
to
then
other
he's
people?
phoning her up again late on the Friday to find out how the Thursday curry went down.
I know, exactly. Yeah.
That's two calls that week.
Unbelievable.
Well, it's just
Just
good to-
read her journal.
Now, the question is it better to enjoy something once and not again than not at all?
But you're an
What do you
idiot
mean?
because
No,
you're the
that's
only
not
person who
choice.
experiences this.
That's not the choice. That's not the choice for normal people. You can either never enjoy summer or only enjoy it once. You can enjoy things loads of times.
you can't.
That's what a hobby is. A hobby is enjoying things over and over again.
I haven't got a hobby ever. That's why. I've had loads of hobbies in the past. I did the dancing, I did the boxing, I did. What else have I done?
That is it. I think that's what.
But that's what I'm saying now. I soon get bored. And it's like how you enjoy, I love munchies,
Yeah.
but I always enjoy the last one more than.
But that doesn't make sense. That goes totally counter to your argument.
No, because it's from one packet.
What?
It's from one packet.
What difference does that make? The
So
first
you-
one's surely
so-
your favourite.
No,
So
it's
hold
not.
on. So if you were to have one munchie, I'll go, as a munchie, mate. You'd
No.
go, I'm not going to take one unless I can have all of them, particularly the last one.
But what
Well,
is?
no, I'd like to have them all, please.
What? No, you can't have them all. Don't be so greedy. Have one munchie. Have the first munchie. There
But
you
I'm
go.
going to have one, and I'm going to get a taste for them, and I'll probably want another.
Well, no, they're my munchies, though, aren't they?
I'll
Do you
keep them then, forget it.
Well, look, so you'd rather have no munchies than one munchie?
I'll go and buy a packet. I'd prefer to go, do you know what? I fancy a packet of them.
But why do you enjoy the
Okay,
why
wait.
do you enjoy the last munchie more than the first? Whereas
you know
you
that's the
enjoy the
last
first
one.
curry, but not the
But
second
you know it's
curry.
the last one.
Because I'm eating them all in one sitting. I'm not going, that's for Monday, that's for Tuesday, that's for Wednesday. I'm
Right.
talking about a packet of munchies.
Right.
I eat them. There's probably about 12 in a packet.
Okay.
I shove the first 4 in without even thinking what I'm eating.
Greedy bastard.
You shoved the first 4 in!
Without even
Right.
thinking about what I'm
Right.
eating.
Now, then when you're getting towards the end, you make them last more. You might bite the top off them. You look what's inside them. You go, I'm liking this.
But
You know
hold
that
on,
last
what,
one?
every time?
What, every time you buy a packet of munchies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hold on, though. You must enjoy a packet of munchies regularly, then?
Not as often as you think. They have
Well,
an
I don't
offer on
know.
them.
Well,
No
it's not
opinion.
as I think. I don't know. So tell me how often you enjoy a packet of munchies.
Normally after sort of maybe once a month.
So, every month, you look forward to a lovely packet of munchies. And the same experience.
Yeah,
You
but
like
at
the
the
first
end, I
one.
like the last one.
The only thing you know you enjoy, look forward to enjoy, and it fulfills all those expectations is a fucking packet of munchies once a month. Fuck me.
What do you think happiness is?
Again, you only know the happiness because of the badness. You've got to have a yin and a yang.
Well, I know what you mean there. I agree with you on this because it's sort of no good to be handed it on a plate. I mean, just from my own experience, working for someone does feel better because you've got a pride and a satisfaction. I genuinely think it's better to start a business, struggle, go bust, come back, than win the lottery.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe that.
But you need the mixture, don't you? So you find out what your favourite thing is. It's like a bag of Revels.
Yeah, but you can't cherish guilt or shame.
Did you just say life is like a bag of Revels? Isn't that dangerously close to life's like a box of chocolates?
In Forrest Gump over there, yeah. Jesus,
but it is, isn't it? There's one or two in there that I don't like.
Like what?
The raisin.
No.
With chocolate.
Yeah, no.
Now, what I'm saying
metaphorically, what's the... Like,
yeah, well, I'm
actually
using...
named what Revel he doesn't like.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you because it works in life.
Go on then.
But the Revel
You like
is
raisins?
there.
Go on.
Well, maybe, if you have enough raisin ones, you eventually go, do you know what? They're not that bad.
What?
And that's the thing in life.
What would you have written to Jim will fix it to fix for you? What would have given you pleasure as a kid? Dear Jim, can you fix it for me to do what?
When I watched Jim will fix it as a kid, they never really lived up to what the kid wanted, did they?
But what would you have requested?
But I don't think I would because I think I saw how disappointed most of the kids were.
God, it's
a kid
exhausting.
like whistling, they brought out
This
Roger
is
Whittaker.
exhausting.
Yes, because they look at it and they go, can you fix it for me to go into space? No. Can I dance with Bananarama? No problem. That's the ones they pick.
Yeah, so that's why I wouldn't write in, because whatever you ask for, you're always going to get a watered-down version.
But if Jim could fix it for you to do anything, what would you have chosen?
There's not many things I wanted as a kid.
One
really.
thing.
Jesus Christ.
Just one thing. To choose one thing, please.
That my name was Brett.
Oh, fucking hell! It's not unbelievable!
I mean, it's extraordinary.
There is no predicting that.
Okay, you know what? I can make that dream come true for you right now, Brett.
We can just call you Brett from now on.
Not a problem, Brett.
Brett Pilkington.
It sounds good.
I love the fact that it's the Carl bit he wants to replace, not the fucking
No, but
Pilkington.
that doesn't work either, because like then
Why
I
not,
told,
Brett?
because I told my mum and dad that that's what I wanted. They started calling me that, but then I forgot.
They went along with it.
Yeah,
So you said, Mum, Dad, call me Brett from now on, and they went, all right.
yeah, but then I kept forgetting that I was Brett, so I wasn't answering, so they went back to Carl.
It's amazing.
So you've had that dream come true.
Yeah, and it wasn't that good, and that's what I'm saying to you. Things never live up to what you want. Dreams, what are they? When I was on holiday recently,
Yeah.
I got talking to an old fella, because where I went, it's mainly for old people. I got chatting with him. You could tell he had a lot of money.
Yeah.
He's sort of tanned. He had that sort of rouge-coloured sort of jeans,
Oh, yeah.
which is always sort of...
Telltale sign.
It's kind of like he's got money.
Yeah.
And,
The red jeans are twice as much, sir. That's okay, I've got money.
yeah, it's either that colour or yellow. But you
Yeah.
can carry it off when you're an old man, and especially with the tan. You think, yeah, he's got a few quid.
I'm a millionaire. Do you have any yellow jeans? We've got one pair, sir. But
But they are the most expensive of
Yeah,
the
they're in
jeans.
the back room. Could I just see your bank account first? There it is. Oh, yeah, you can afford yellow jeans, all right, sir. Come this way.
So I got talking to him, and it turns out he had a cruise ship.
Right.
Loads of money. Now, I was chatting to him for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
What colour was his jacket?
Said he didn't have a jacket on, just a white shirt.
He's wearing red jeans and a white shirt.
Yeah, sort of leather slip-on shoes, what I can remember.
And how old is he?
It's hard to tell because he was well tanned.
Right.
Was he an attractive man?
He's a good-looking fella.
So he's rich. So you saw this rich, good-looking bloke with just a shirt on.
Oh, he had a shirt and his pink
Yeah.
pants.
His pink pants, and he just went over and struck up a conversation.
I don't know. Why did you notice what colour the crotch area was?
What?
Why did you notice what
You were
colour
looking very much at the arms
I
and the
can see
crotch
why
area.
you could see if you're looking at his face, you could see a white shirt. But why could you see
I'll tell you
what
why.
colour
This is what I'm telling
the
you.
fabric around his
This is what
testicles
I'm
were?
saying.
You saw a good-looking old man sat at the bar. You went up and bought him a drink. Right.
Yeah, you
I
so
was
you
waiting
noticed
for the
it-
barbecue to open.
Right. Okay. And you
I got
noticed a
there
man's.
early.
So you noticed
So
a
it was
man's
9 in the
trousers.
morning.
No.
Yeah. No.
I was annoyed. I
Right.
don't like late nights on holiday.
Right,
With
okay.
jet lag. Suzanne said, let's go down there early tonight.
Right.
I get there. I find out the barbecue's not for another 40-odd minutes.
What time was
the
it?
holiday rep. Well, I don't know. It starts at 8.
You're
so I have to
noticing
wait for
people.
40
You're
minutes.
noticing old men's genital coverings, but you don't know what fucking time it is.
Yeah, but what
get
I'm
your story
saying, What I'm
straight.
saying to you is, the
Right.
reason I noticed his pants is because what he was talking about,
Right.
there was no reference points. I didn't have a clue what he was going on about.
Right. What was he talking about for your eyes to wander down to his penis, is what I'm trying to say. What made you look at his penis?
Because I got bored. I didn't know. What I'm trying to say to you is reference points. I had no idea
what
what
was
he
he
was going on
talking
about. When
about?
you're talking to a stranger, aren't you meant to keep it
Above the waist.
Looking
Looking at his bollocks.
keep it to
Erect. I made Carl laugh.
For the past few years, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington have been meeting regularly for a series of pointless conversations. This is one of them.
Testing. Is that all right?
Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And the little round-headed buffoon that is Carl Pilkington.
All right.
It's come to our attention that the Allied forces, all around the world, in active service, fighting for their country, even though they're in danger and they're missing their loved ones, they all have one thing in common. The love of one man, the respect of one fellow soldier. He's a civilian, but he's one of them. He is, to some, just a little bald-headed fool. Carl Pilkington. Carl, what do you think? What do you think of this? It's an honour, isn't it, to do this?
Yeah, it's all right, yeah.
Brilliant.
Okay, there's people out there, Carl. They're fighting in Afghanistan, Iraq, all over the globe.
They're in a dark building. They're not breaking radio silence.
Morale often low. There's one man they can turn to cheer him up.
Come on, they want some words of encouragement, some words of wisdom. Something to keep them going. A message to the troops. Come on.
Go, Carl. What is it?
You're like their Winston Churchill.
I don't know what to say to him, really.
Do you know any soldiers?
Well, yeah, my brother was one, wasn't
Yeah, but he got kicked out.
Why did your brother get kicked out of the army?
he? Well, it's a few things. I think you get a few chances. I think the final straw was nipping out for some fags in a tank.
Just think of that. Just think of that. Amazing.
And it's,
Just see that, just a little corner shop, just like things shaking, dumping off the shelves, and they're going, what is this? What is going on? 20 Rothmans, please.
yeah, there was loads of things. It was that. What else did he do? I think the sergeant wasn't happy that my mum wrote the sergeant a letter trying to get my brother out of going to Northern Ireland.
What did she say? I love this.
What did she say?
Wow.
She wrote a letter. Like, trying to get him out of PE.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
It was all
Let's
like...
not
He's had a
forget-
chesty cough.
Let's not forget, your mum is a person who put Tipex on a spider so your dad couldn't kill it, so she knew it was the right
so it didn't
spider.
get backed
In
up.
case your dad killed a real spider, then thought I better replace it. I mean,
No, it wasn't just that. It was Tipex, so that when my dad was vacking up, or my mum was vacking up, it stood out. It wasn't like branding a sheep.
Right.
It was there, so it stood out because they used to have like, what's the name? Laminate flooring.
Right.
And my dad changed it to darker carpet, so
Right.
all of a sudden you couldn't see it anymore.
I've never heard anything like this.
I don't remember this story.
No,
she
no.
had a pet spider? What do you mean? It was just a spider.
Yeah, she kept a spider. They had a spider, but then it became a pet because it was there all the time, as opposed to just getting rid of it straight away. Like, you know, because you didn't clear it away
it's
straight
a
away,
house.
suddenly it's a pet. It's
Yeah, it's a house spider because they live in houses. You make them welcome to get rid of other little bugs and termites and stuff. My brother's left home, I've left home, my sister's gone. It's something for my mum, innit? She's got a budgie. There's only so much you can do with that. It's not as free, is it, as a spider?
right.
So she just looks after that one. They lived for about 8 years.
I'm bored of a budgie. Get yourself a spider.
Anyway,
They live in holes.
that's a different thing altogether. She just wrote to the sergeant and said, just sort of, you know, look, I didn't want him to join the army. It was his dad. He didn't get a job. His dad told him, if you don't get a job, you're going to join the army. He ended up joining. He's joined at a bad time. He hasn't had enough practice at this yet. Can you just let him
Surely
off?
that's for
Isn't that
them.
enough practice?
Surely that's for them to decide. Yeah, she's on there going, he can't shoot for toffee.
He was all right about it. The only thing that really annoyed him is my mum started off the letter by saying, hello, Chuck.
Not appropriate.
And he called back, though. He did call her and said, look, you know, I don't appreciate it being called Chuck and stuff, but I got your note. You know, a lot of mothers are in the same boat.
Sorry, he actually mentioned don't call me Chuck.
Yeah. Yeah, he brought it up because it's all about respect, isn't it? And
Well, she's a civilian.
yeah, but I suppose it's respect still. He's putting his life on the line. Someone's saying, you know, all right, Chuck.
So he phoned back and he said, presumably, well, I mean, if I was him, I would have, not only would I have sent him to Northern Ireland instantly,
Yeah.
I'd have put him in the most dangerous spot.
Yeah.
I mean, as punishment. To get your mum to write a letter?
No. He didn't ask my mum to do it. She did it off her own back.
He was probably horrified, wasn't he?
Oh, wow.
that. But imagine that. The sergeant major go, attention, got a little letter here. Let me read it to you. Hello, Chuck. Just reads it out. And he goes, Pilkington, come here, you horrible little man. Imagine him reading out in front of the troops.
I remember sort of looking up to him thinking, he's in the army, I want to do that. He used to come home quite a lot, but he used to do my dad's head in because he'd turn up with like a wagon with like a load of his mates in it, just turning up unsort of, you know, we didn't have any notice. Just turn up and he'd bring them all in. Come on, he'd be drinking my dad's whiskey, he'd kick off, my dad saying, get out.
Mind the spider.
And
Don't tread on the spider.
yeah, he used to just turn up with like half of F Troop and he'd just take over the house. And my dad used to be on night, so he'd hear all this going on, come down and go, what's going on, get out. He's going, oh, we've come out, get out. So it'd sort of kick off a bit. I'd see him for a few minutes and then he'd drive off again on the truck.
Not a model soldier then.
Well, what's a model soldier? I don't know. I mean, I always thought it was good. When I was younger and, you know, he joined, I was like, oh, I'm going to do that when I get older. And my dad always said, you won't be able to cut it. He said, you can't do it.
Oh.
And I said, no, I can. Look how good. Because I used to make my bed really neat.
Right. So it was mainly housework you were good at.
Yeah, you're probably better off as a mum.
No. It was like, because it has to be immaculate, doesn't it? They look for no creases and that, and I was
Yeah.
a bit paranoid with my bed, just with the duvet and that. I used to.
Duvet. Do they have duvets?
Well, I don't know, but just making the bed pride in appearance of the bedroom.
Yeah, it's all about discipline.
Once
it's all about,
I made it, no one could sit on it. I used to get all stressed out and feel sick if someone came in and sat on my bed after I'd made it. So don't be coming in. And it was annoying because that's where the CB was. So everyone used to come in to have a go on the CB and sit on my bed. They'd be going, don't sit on my bed. Made it.
Right.
Why do you used to feel sick?
It was a bit of a thing. I just didn't
OCD,
like it.
a little bit of-
It's
yeah.
like I've gone to the trouble of making it. Why have you just come in and sat on it? I wouldn't have made it.
Yeah, but hold on though. You do that in the army. Sergeant Major comes in and goes, Pilkington, and he does it for a laugh. He turns over your bed, he pulls out your locker, he gobs on your shoes, right? He goes, "Start again, you cunt." What are you going to do? Going to be sick? No, you're going to go, "Yes, Sergeant Major, I'm going to start again."
No, I'd say, why did you do that? I'm missing home as it is. I'm stressed out. I'm just trying to make me surroundings as nice as possible.
Teddy's on the floor.
You keep coming in and messing with it. Can you not do that?
Who are you talking to, you little bald cunt?
Maybe my dad's right then, because he said that my dad sort of said the bed making's all right. He said, but you're not that good with laces.
Wow, did you have to tie your laces?
Well, I just never been that good. I can tie them, but they never sort of stay tied for a long time.
I have never seen him tie his laces. I've realised that.
No.
He always comes in. Does Suzanne do them for you?
Is he a little mank, one of those little mank trainers where they're all tucked in, where you don't see the laces?
I tend to just get a good knot on them and then just leave them and kick them off, and then they're tied permanent.
So you've got slip-on laced-up shoes, basically.
Yeah. I don't like
But they
laces.
can't be
I don't
tight
understand
enough.
why laces are good anyway when you're in the army, especially with boots. You have boots with like about 60 holes in them. If you're in a rush, if you're in bed, you get out of the bed, you make the bed, the sergeant comes in, rips it apart again, he's going, "There's a war," and you're going, "Stop messing with the bed." And then I'm there trying to put my boots on, you got 60 laces. I don't understand why Velcro hasn't been used. Velcro is ideal for a war situation. You're in bed, woo, siren goes off, you jump out. Why do you want boots with loads of laces?
Well, that's a thought for the...
If there's any top brass listening. How would you cope, Carl, in a war situation? Ignore the mechanics of being a soldier. I'm talking about the fear. I mean, these men and women are brave beyond compare. Constantly under duress.
I was told he had good pain threshold.
By whom?
A woman at that face rub place I went to.
Right.
She, because they ask you when you go in. She said, "What's your pain threshold like?" I said, "I don't know. Try and avoid it." She was going, "Yeah, but, would you say you're very, very good, medium, or bad?"
I can't imagine you getting hurt much because the signals to the brain, you've got, it's dulled, isn't it, with you? So you don't really...
Yeah, but then Suzanne always moans at me when I'm going, "Oh, God, my wisdom teeth is aching." She's going, "Oh, shut up."
She's saying, "You haven't got any wisdom teeth, you dopey cunt."
No, she just always goes, "I had it and I didn't make a fuss," but it's one of them things that you can't get through to people pain, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they don't know what your pain threshold is. So like I say, I've got brilliant pain threshold. I'm saying my tooth's hurting. She's saying, "Oh, shut up." But she doesn't know. I think I've talked about it before about giving someone the pain that you've got. So you go, "There, have a feel of that. I'm in
Yeah.
agony here."
Yeah, but you've made it up that you've got a high pain threshold. This isn't... This is not
No,
scientifically
the woman
proven.
told me. The woman told me.
Well,
Why
does
does
she
she
know?
know?
Because I haven't got to it yet. When I had the face rub,
Yeah.
she was sticking electric into my head. And she was going,
What sort of place is this? This wasn't a spa.
"No, it was. It's what they do
Jesus
now."
Christ.
What, she I don't know, so she just plugged something into the mains.
She plugged something in and rolled it
Did she
over.
have an assistant called Igor? Was it in a castle in
She
Bavaria?
plugged this thing in, rolled it over my head, and said, "Is that hurting?" I was going, "No." And she went, "Oh, right." And she said, and then by the end of it, she said, "Look at that, I had that on full." I said, "What is it?" She said, "It's an electric current that does something." I was going, "Really?"
That does something. She's a scientist.
And yeah.
Pain yet.
She said, "No, when you fill out that form, just put you really good at pain threshold."
But you're really good at pain. You're going to come again? Well, yeah, 50 quid. Let's try it on your testicles next time.
So,
Sorry, how was this? What was this supposed to be achieving?
It was like a face rub.
You've gone in for a facial and she's testing out what your pain
Well, that's
threshold
what I
is?
said. I said, "Hang on a minute, what do you mean? It's meant to be relaxing, this."
Yeah.
You normally have whale noises happening,
Yeah.
and now it's going to be me screaming. She said, no, it's just, we have to ask, we have to make sure, because there is a bit of pain. Heat is heat into these hot cloths. Bit of a rub.
Bit of the thumb screws. Let's get the thumb screws out now.
And plus all that kidney stone pain that I
Yeah,
had.
but you just were in agony when you had the kidney stones. I don't remember you having this triumphant pain threshold. You gave up instantly.
Whinged and whinged.
Yeah, because you have to get seen. If I go in there and I'm going, "I'm in agony," and they're going, "You don't look like you're in agony," I'd be at the back of the queue. So you have to go in and go, "Oh, yeah." And they're going, "Quick, get him in." So pain threshold is good for yourself, but it's not good for other people.
So you were bullshitting? You didn't feel pain at all?
I was in agony, but I can hold it off. I can sit there and be quiet and have a sweat on. But if you do that in a hospital waiting room, it'll be the little div who's coming with a pan on his head, who's screaming saying his head's throbbing. That's what I'm saying. So to get seen, you have to put it on. It's like a baby crying. There's nothing wrong with it. What's he crying for? He's probably hungry. Well, I'm hungry. I'm not crying. But that's what they use, innit, to get attention.
So you're braver than a baby, is what you're saying. You're braver than a baby. That's all we've established here.
In some cases, not in
When
others.
you fill out the form.
Not in others. Sometimes babies are braver. When are babies braver?
You can chuck them in a pool when they don't panic. I'm rubbish.
Sorry, will you leave my baby alone? No, I'm doing an experiment. Mr. Pilkington, will you stop throwing children in the pool?
No, babies.
You're barred from this swimming pool from now on.
I mean babies. It's the same way you can chuck one out of a window and it can land and it won't break its back. 'cause it's
No, that's not true.
Do not do that.
Not do that.
If
That
you
is
are a
not
maniac
true. You
listening
cannot
to this.
throw a baby out of a window.
It's just what I've
Who
heard.
do you hear that? You're thinking of a cat. And don't throw cats out. Don't throw any living thing out of a...
it's just what I've
Who do
heard.
you...
You can't throw a baby out of the window and it won't break its back. What are you talking
No,
about?
it's just there's a certain height. It's all about us tensing up. We tense up, don't we? It's like how once someone who fell out of a plane, they passed out, and because they passed out when they landed, they were relaxed. They
No.
woke up, they were like, "Oh yeah, what happened then?"
Someone fell out of a plane. That's bollocks.
It's not, honestly.
How far was the plane?
Oh, high up. It's a plane, isn't it?
Well, what's the lowest height that a plane could be at?
Even if it was at 30 feet, that's a height, isn't it, to fall without...
Yeah, well, exactly. But if it was higher...
Was the plane just on the runway?
No, it was high and up. It was high up enough.
Is this where you went for the holiday? We're going to high up enough. Fuck me. Can't even talk.
So yeah, pain threshold, I'm very good at it.
So, would you say you've ever been brave? Because I was thinking, before we did this, I can't think of a time when I've ever been brave. I don't think I've been cowardly. I've just never been in a situation where I needed to be brave, particularly. I've always managed to avoid fights, conflicts.
Yeah.
See, when I was in Salford, I'd nipped to Greggs to get a pasty. I heard some bells going off. I came out, just thought, I don't know what that is. Went over to the car, sort of thinking, I can't wait to have this pasty when I get home. Cup of tea, nice cup of tea, maybe a bit of bread.
I love the fact that his head was just filled with food because he was buying food and thinking food. When he's eating, I'm thinking I'm eating food. Just one big globular mess of food cells in his head for the duration of the food experience.
I can remember that food thought going on now, and it was probably like 15 years ago. But I remember how happy I was. I'm out of the Greggs, I've got what I want, I'm on my way home, this pie's hot, it's going to be hot when I get home, it's going to be a nice cup of tea, bread.
These are the things you save, and yet you forget really important facts.
Yeah, he doesn't know why wars are happening, but he does remember this.
Yeah, but listen, this is why I remember it. Like I said, you forgot the bit that I said. A bell going off. I don't know what's going on there. I'm walking over the road, put the key in the car, I turn round, bloke comes running out the post office, obviously the bell's gone off, he's got a big shotgun, balaclava on, and he stops and looks at me. He's there with a big gun in his hand, and he's looking at me. And I wasn't scared. I just was thinking, does he want me pie? I remember thinking, if he said, I want that, I'd have to give it up.
So a man with a gun.
I told Suzanne, she said no, he was probably thinking about nicking your car. He's got your
What, he
key.
didn't have a car ready? He came,
No,
he
he
had the
legged it.
balaclava, the gun, and he goes, fuck me, I forgot the car.
In the end, he sort of ran off down the back alley.
I love the fact that he looked over at you for a split second and you thought he might be interested in your
Was
pie.
there other people around? Were you sure this happened and you weren't reading a comic book?
No, it happened.
And so he looked you in the face. He saw
through
you.
his balaclava, he made eye contact. I looked at him. Everything sort of stopped for a minute, and then he just sort of legged it off down the back alley.
And what did you do? What did you say to the police when you obviously were?
I didn't. I just went.
Well, you were a witness to the crime.
Have me pie. Like I said, it was warm. It's not going to stay warm forever, is it?
But when it was on Crime Watch a few weeks later,
No,
said
it wasn't. That's what was weird. I said to Suzanne, let's watch like Granada Reports tonight, see if I'm on the telly or anything. Nothing. Didn't even get reported.
Why would you be on the telly if you just ran
Just
away?
didn't say CCTV or something like that. If I was involved in it, they went, this happened today in Salford, outside Greggs. Are you this man with the pie? I wanted to make sure I was well out of this one. Because Suzanne sort of said, should you get involved? But you shouldn't get involved, because then I'm at risk, aren't I? Nobody was
there you
killed.
are. We're back to bravery again, aren't we?
Yeah, it is bravery.
Go on then.
Next door but one, there's a fella there. He likes a drink. He came home late one night, banging on the door. Obviously forgot his key. He was trying to kick the door in. I looked out the window, and who's that? Thinking someone's breaking in. Right? I see it's in. I saw all the curtains twitching. He just went back to bed. Now I kept an eye on him. He kicked so hard, he fell back, dropped his curry, landed in the road.
dropped his curry.
Right.
Oh God! Why didn't he get a pie from Greg's? Because that lands and it's still fine.
So, anyway, he passes out.
Right.
Curry all over the shop.
Yeah.
Head in the road. Cars come down that road.
Yeah.
Sometimes pretty fast.
Yeah,
It's
of
night
course.
time. You could get his head squashed.
Yeah.
Like I said, curtains are still a switching. No one's a helping. I go out there and I go, you all right? You all right? And he's totally off his head. He's obviously had a right skinful. He's going, oh, where am I? I'm going, you're outside your house, but you've got to get off the road because you're going to get squashed. So he's like, oh, and he could hardly move, so I sort of picked him up, sat him on the pavement, sort of picked up the curry and stuff. Suzanne came out, what's going on? I said, oh, look at him, he's in the right state. Anyway, he's sort of coming round a little bit. In the end, I said, where's your keys? Got him in his house, job done.
But that's not bravery.
not bravery.
There was no
There's
threat
no-
to
there's
you.
no-
It's just put yourself out of it for 2 minutes.
It is bravery because he's out of his head. He could have thought I was attacking him. He could have swung at me. Now, the good
He's
thing
lying in the road, unconscious, covered in curry. This is not a threat.
it is a threat. I'm out on the street late at night. Someone could have come round the corner and thought I was mugging him. And then
what'd
they
do?
attacked me.
Why would they attack you? They take
Because they
back
think,
with
what are you doing? People don't ask questions because you're not allowed to. Like with the sergeant, they chip in straight away. I know what's going on here. No, you don't. You don't know the full story. He's pissed up and his curry all over it. It isn't blood. It's masala. You hear about this all the time, misunderstandings. Now, I helped him. The day after, he remembers, he comes round and he gave me some mincemeat that he had left over.
I love this. Where do you live? This is amazing. Oh my God.
So the thing is, it goes to show that I put myself out, he appreciated it, he said, you're right, the way cars come round here, I'd had a bit of a week, I'd had a lot to drink, good on you. Then no one else chipped in. Now, it is bravery, kind of, because no one else went out there and helped. You didn't even know about that. It's only because you just asked. It was ages ago. I don't shout about it. I don't want an award. Have a go hero. I don't want any of that. I just did my
There's
bit.
no have a go hero about it.
Did you take the mincemeat?
Yeah, I did, yeah. It was good stuff.
Yeah. That's better than a ward in a way, isn't it?
I told him that. So, it depends. I think there's different ways.
Bag of mincemeat. I love that.
I was saved by a bald man. Slaughter my finest pig, mince the meat, and send it to him.
What about phrases from the war days? What about things like careless talk costs lives? What do you make of that?
Careless talk. I suppose just busy chatting in a trench rather than going out there.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that.
Have another go. Careless talk costs lives. They used to have posters up all over London and other cities.
Careless talk.
Costs lives.
There was another one. There's another saying that means the same that might give you a clue. The walls have ears.
Yeah, but that just means don't be slagging someone off because someone will hear it, pass it on, and then they'll end up fighting their own instead of who they should be fighting.
Well, no, you're almost there, but think about what you mean.
It's not about gossip. It's not about.
Well, in a
tittle-tattle.
way it is, but it's
about
very specific gossip.
Much more important tittle tattle.
Careless whispers.
No, that's George Michael.
Say again. What's the first one again?
Careless talk costs lives.
I don't know. I imagine it being like a.
Don't go shooting your mouth off about things you know about the war effort, because there might be a German spy in the pub disguised as a barmaid. Oh, you're lovely, Tracy's going, yeah, I'm Carl. What do you know about the war?
That's true. That does happen. I remember my brother being in the army. He had the same thing. He was told not to because he liked the women and that. And he was told, listen.
One of them might be a German spy.
Yeah. He said, don't be going out with German women because they're quite muscly. And
could be a man.
There'll be a gang of them. No, and they'll do you in.
Sorry, your brother was told. Don't go out with a gang of German women because they're quite muscly and they might do you in.
Yeah, because it's all part of the thing. They sort of go out, like you say, pretending they're just like women out on the night because he was in Germany for a bit. He was posted over there.
Right.
And apparently they target like British soldiers and that. And like I say, he liked his women. He'd just go along with it thinking this is good. you know, Actung baby or whatever.
That's okay, and you too.
Hey, action, baby.
Yeah. Acton, baby.
Yeah.
And then, you know, got him in a headlock and good night Vienna.
Well done. Good night, Vienna.
Why are these random German women just killing British blokes? What's the reason for this?
It was a proper thing. I remember him telling my mum, saying, "Oh God, I had a right dilemma. I met some women, German, couldn't go with them though because we were told that there might be, might be trouble." Really, yeah. Honestly, that's a fact.
British soldiers were getting beaten up by German women. This is not true.
Can't be.
Why? If you're caught off guard, you're just thinking, oh, you know, out with the ladies, and then they suddenly turn on you. It's a shock. It's a surprise element.
Why are they beating him up? You're presumably talking about the
because
Cold
he's a
War.
soldier.
Yeah, but they were allies then.
Well,
When your brother was stationed in Germany, it wasn't occupied Germany. We hadn't invaded. It wasn't the German resistance. They were stationed there because
For the past few years, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington have been meeting regularly for a series of pointless conversations. This is one of them.
Testing. Is that all right?
Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And
Was in there.
slugs. So, then there's you have to put a case forward, and me and Steve decide whether slugs go in or whether they stay out, whether they've got a purpose.
It's just because I'm having a problem with slugs at the moment. There's a lot of slugs coming in the house.
Why?
Don't know. They can get where like water can't. You know what I mean? Because they're boneless, aren't they? So
Well,
any little gap.
So's water boneless. There's not many bones in water.
No, that's what I said.
why banish them all to room 102, slugs? Because they're harmless, aren't they?
All I know is they're clogging up my piping. I had to go out and buy a plunger. I hadn't seen them since like comics when I was a kid. And I suddenly thought I need one of them things that I always saw in comics. I never thought I'd need one of them in my life. I've got slugs in my pipes. So I went out, £3 it was. I had no idea what the going rate is for a plunger. Gave it a bit of a plunge. And I think it was slugs. Like, all like bits of black stuff came up. I think it was slugs in there, like broken up slugs.
Well, hang on. That could just be black gunk, couldn't it?
No, it looked very sluggish. Because remember, I've had a problem with them anyway. I'll go to the toilet or whatever, look round, there's a slug climbing up the wall out of the shower basin thing.
Are you sure it's a slug?
Yeah, definitely slugs. I have to keep chucking them out because I don't like killing anything.
No.
I didn't want to kill the slugs with slug pellets. I bought some copper ribbon.
Right? They don't like going over that,
They don't
do they?
like that.
They get a little
shock
charge,
off
yeah.
But now that should be a warning. But instead, they're diverting. They've done a diversion. They've gone up the wall and across. Now it's like, that's a warning. That's like having a no trespassing sign.
Yeah.
And they're just going, bollocks to that. And they're getting in. And it's annoying me. And now you get to a point when you do say, well, if they carry on like this, I'll have to kill them because they're not... How much...
They're not playing by the rules.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what the purpose is. You just sit there still. I don't see him doing anything. I was looking at one close up.
But what do you want to do? Be reading Rousseau. What do you want a slug to do?
In the same way you see a bee collecting pollen, good, it's doing its little work.
But
ants carrying big leaves or whatever. But the slug's just sat in the
They're
middle
all
of the
doing the
kitchen.
same thing. They're all doing the same thing. That slug is out. It's eating. It's finding food.
There's no food. There's no food in our kitchen for a slug. Believe me. There's not enough there for me sometimes. But never mind a slug. There's nothing for it. Definitely not in the shower. What's he doing? So I told you ages ago about how they cause more problems than good. They eat cabbage,
Right.
when they shouldn't be. They get in letterboxes and nick stamps.
They don't nick stamps.
They eat the stamps. They like the glue on it.
Right.
Is this a big problem, though? Is there an epidemic of slugs eating stamps?
But I think it is, and that's why they're so slow. I think they're sweating glue.
And it's slowing them
They're
down.
eating all them, and that's why they're sticking to stuff. Have you ever picked up a slug? Well sticky. They give off this glue. It's like all the glue they've eaten off stamps. They panic, and when they sweat glue.
Sweat! Think of a slug! What do you mean they sweat glue? You're making up nature.
It makes sense.
This is just a nonsense theory.
It's just what I've noticed on them.
Right, Rick, do you allow slugs in room 102?
Well, I think we should, if they're going to be gone forever, then we should put a case forward. They're amazing creatures.
What do they do for the world?
They're food.
It's not good enough, that. It's not good enough.
What do you mean? But that's the ultimate sacrifice. Surely them being food.
Just having problems with them at the moment. I've spent £3 on a plunger, and I don't like the idea that every time I get up in the night to go into the toilet or whatever, I've got to put the light on because I might have a bit of sluggage between my toes.
Sluggage, a little bit of sluggage between my toes.
Right, okay, so we need to move on. So you are not putting them in?
I'm not putting slugs in.
All right, slugs have not gone in, Carl, I'm afraid.
What's your next one?
Okay, number 2.
People who don't want to do what the brains would be better at doing.
Right, okay, no, I'll get around that sentence. Now, tell me again.
Brains that don't want to do what their owners are good at.
Ah, so now it's the brain's fault.
Can you just expand on that point, please, KP?
Do you know, like, people decide what they want to do,
Right.
don't they, for a living? But sometimes they're not good enough.
Right. You mean they have a dream and they can't fulfill it because they haven't got the skill or...
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're not good for anything.
No.
It's just that they haven't unlocked the thing that they're good at. They want to go at
Of course. But I mean, there's much bigger issues there that the poor working class people don't get the same opportunities. When you're worrying about whether you're going to live through the next few days, you don't start thinking, I wonder if I can play the cello.
Can I refer you back though, Rick? You've made an interesting point there, but I fear that's not exactly what Carl was saying. I don't think that his point was quite that profound.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant.
Yeah, I don't know. There was something to do with the brain not allowing its owner.
Yeah, because that's the bit that annoys me. Fair enough if a brain hasn't decided what it wants to do, because you.
What is this?
Let him finish.
God, this
Because it
thing
hasn't-
about
Let him
the
finish.
brain.
Shut up.
Because it hasn't found its destiny type thing.
A brain hasn't
But
found its destiny.
when someone is good at something and they know the brain is good at something, but then they don't want to do it and they want to go off and do something else. Now they say in this country the problem is we haven't got enough tradesmen.
Right.
We don't have enough plumbers.
Right.
There's enough plumbers' brains.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
Shut up.
What are you talking
Shut
about?
up. Let him please finish.
Because
This is like beds and pillows
brains have not changed over the years. The brain is exactly the same. But it's the owner of the brain that's in charge. The brain could be going, I want to go for a walk. But if your body's too lazy to get up and go and see the stuff, the brain isn't going to get what it wants.
It doesn't make sense, Carl.
All right,
You
imagine
are your
this.
brain.
All right, let's go to the extreme. People with no legs who want to be swimmers. Don't be stupid.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
I'm so annoyed. Is this a big problem?
It's madness, isn't it? It's mad that the brain wants to do that so much. The brain's in the wrong body almost. Yeah, are you with me?
No.
A plumber who can plumb is annoying when he jacks it in as a living because there's other brains who can't do plumbing. They don't get their head round it.
This means I don't know what you're putting in room 102 because you're saying it's like this brain's wandering around looking
the
for a
brain?
body and it goes, oh, I'll choose that body. Hang on, this body doesn't even want to do some plumbing.
It's a matter of taste. It's just a
sometimes
matter of taste.
I'm not putting the brain in. It's just people. If I had a really good skill, I'd hope that I'd use it.
So people who don't fulfil their own potential. Is that a better point?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Who am I talking to now, Carl or his brain?
We're both listening.
Well, I will put in people who don't fulfill their full potential. Slugs are safe. What's your next thing to try and get in room 102?
It's a tricky one, this.
Go on.
It's people who think that humans are special. Do you know what I mean?
But you think that.
No, I don't. I don't think humans are special. I think
what-
some of us are. Look at it like this. You see, we think we're important because we just do. Well, I don't, but some do. And they're the ones I want to get rid of.
Another argument with himself.
Now, we think we're special. There might be something else going on that's more important. We're in this universe, aren't we?
Yeah.
They're trying to make a new universe.
What do you mean?
There's a machine somewhere. What? A Big Bang. They're making a Big Bang again.
Right, well you've got that completely wrong, but sure. They're not trying to create a new world. They're trying to recreate the conditions that happened at the beginning of the Big Bang.
All right, so the world
completely
came
different.
But the world came from the Big Bang.
If they're trying to recreate the conditions so they can test and they can experiment to see the conditions before.
So why are they doing that? Who's allowed that? This is what annoys me. It's because humans think they're special. Oh, who made the Big Bang? Oh, I'd like my name on that. I want to claim it. Why do people always want to better someone else? It's happened. Let them have it.
Okay, right, okay, Carl. You're in charge of the world now. You are this... You're all-powerful. You're like a god, okay? You can do anything. You call all the scientists, and they go, what do you want of us? Oh, orange-headed one. What the fuck do you want of us? Right? What do you want them to do? Go. What do you say?
Well, I want to come in and... How long have they been working on the Big Bang idea?
Forget it. You've got every science...
No, but I don't just want to come in and poo-poo that, because they're going to...
Poo-poo?
They've done a lot of research on
Hold on, you wanted to stop a minute ago?
Yeah, I know, but you don't just come in, guns are blazing. I'd say, hello,
you can
everyone.
do anything you want. Oh, go on then.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Carl, leader.
Right, listen, this Big Bang thing you've been doing...
Yeah, well, that's just only a few of us. That's like less than 1,000,000% of us. We're all here.
Yeah.
I've dropped AIDS research. I've dropped cancer research.
Right, well, why have you dropped that? Who's told you to do that?
Well, no, we knocked off. They said you wanted to tell us something. We're all here. Every scientist in the world
Well,
is
listen,
here.
what research are you doing?
Oh, well, I'm looking at what happens if you give Feminax to an owl.
What happens?
Well, I'm halfway through it. I got called away.
Look, I'm really busy. What do you want me to work on?
Who said they're doing cancer?
Hey.
Go back to work.
Cheers.
Right.
Okay, the rest of us doing stuff that you think we're fanning around with. What would you want us to do?
Well, I can't do it all today.
What about me? I was doing AIDS.
Hang on a minute.
I was doing AIDS.
You just wait a minute.
Right, okay, why does cancer get to go back? Are you saying that cancer's a bigger problem than AIDS?
You go back to work.
So AIDS can go back. I'm doing restless legs.
Right, can everybody but the Big Bang people leave? Tell you another problem that I've worked out. It might make a slight difference on fat people. Don't put a light in a fridge. Because that's just at night when they get peckish. They can see everything that's in there. Don't put the light there. You don't need a light in a fridge. There's no lights in other cupboards. Yet where there's food, it's like fatties getting up at 4 a.m. What can it have? What's that at the back? Get rid of the light, they'd eat less.
There might be some logic in that.
That's interesting.
Well, what's it there for? Tell me what that light is there for. They say turn off your standby light, yet you've got a light in your fridge.
Well, no, it is
showing you
off.
where tomatoes is.
But it's turned off when you shut the light's not on when the door's not open.
Yes, but a fat person who's always got the fridge door open.
So what are you saying, in a way, is that the free market, capitalism being what it is, which has allowed companies, food manufacturers to make them more full of more salt, more fat, in order to attract you, in order to make more profits, is actually resulting in obesity?
I was in a cafe, right? I normally like to go in there, and I might have beans on toast,
cheese on
cup
top.
of tea. I might have a bit of cheese.
Yeah, cheddar on top.
Only if they offer. I sometimes sort of think I shouldn't have it, so I'll only have it if they say, "Do you want cheese?"
Oh, okay.
And then it's down to their problem. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like they made me have that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm sat in there. This little fella, I'd say he was from like Africa or something. Came in, had a little top hat on, suitcase, and red jeans. Dead happy he was. I think he just turned up to London. It's his first day out, and he's probably thinking, I can't believe me, look at the choice here. Anyway, the difference was...
All conjecture.
Yeah.
The difference was, he went in, and he said, have you got any porridge? He asked for 2 bowls for the price of 1. It was a little bit of a
kerfuffle.
Yeah, a little bit, because he couldn't understand why. You've got loads of porridge, give me 2 portions. But what I found interesting is, he didn't want to go for the donut or the pastry, because in his country they don't have it. So food where he's from is for what food is for. innit? Giving you energy.
Yeah.
Here, it's not about that, is it?
No.
You go, oh, I'd love a little muffin. So I just found it interesting. That's all my point is that he could have anything. He's come over here. He's in London. He's got loads of stuff on offer. Yet he still wanted his porridge.
Do you think that? Well, firstly, do you think perhaps he had travelled from the past in some kind of time machine? But secondly, do you think that now that he'll have his first taste of a donut, won't he, or a pain au chocolat? Do you think he'll get the taste of it next time you see him?
Well, maybe that's how it works, isn't it? I mean, why do I like?
Hey, next time I walk in there, I go, hello, usual.
No, shove the porridge. I want a donut.
That's what happens, isn't it? It's all about a mixture. You need a mixture in your body. You need to have, like I've said to you before, I get an urge for things that I don't even know about. Do you know what I mean?
What, like what?
Anything. The one that always surprises me are plums. Because I shouldn't get an urge for plums. I don't like them enough, but if I pass them in a supermarket, I go, I don't have one of them for a bit. Yeah, I think you need that. And I'll go mad. I'll eat a full packet in a day. I'll eat like 6 and get bellyache and that. And I know I shouldn't overdo it with them. But it's just like, my body...
He's like a creature, isn't he?
My body just calls out for stuff.
It doesn't, Carl.
No, he feels that way because I wouldn't normally buy them. My favourite fruit, I like an apple, love a banana. I've got into blackberries.
Yeah.
Quite expensive, but a bit of a treat. I think there's plenty of fruit out there. Bananas, apples, oranges. We've got plenty of fruit. They can't get rid of fruit quick enough. There's loads of stuff with fruit in now. Shower gel with kiwi in it. I'm telling you, they can't get rid of it because it's too much. So they just go, what can we do with all this stuff? We'll stick it in there. Orange juice. I had orange juice sort of cordial.
Yeah.
Tastes a bit weird, isn't it? Orange. Sneaked a bit of pineapple in. Orange and pineapple. You can't get rid of the stuff.
I'm a big fan of the Satsuma. Easy to peel. What I don't like is the big oranges. You have to peel them. You get it on your. You know.
They're the ones I eat when I'm in the bath. Just easy,
so you just dunk under the water afterwards and you're clean again.
If I'm going to have a bath, then that's what you do.
So it's 2 treats. It's an orange and a bath. I mean, that's amazing. That's an amazing thing to look forward to. Don't you think you've blown that for when you're old, when you're 74, and they go, I tell you what, Carl, lovely treats, a bath and an orange. Done it. I did it when I was 36. So, have you heard Desert Island Discs?
Yeah.
Good, let's do that. Right, forget the 8 records. We can't play them anyway. We can't play them anyway.
I know, but for people in other countries, they may not be familiar with Desert Island Discs.
Oh, it's a program. It's a real national institution here. They get, prime ministers and leaders of men and really eminent people to go on, and you talk about your life and you choose your 8 favourite tunes. You take a luxury item and you're allowed to take any book. I did it. And I took a book, I think a tabletop book of art.
Why would you take that?
You can't take anything that's useful. It's just, it's and your luxury item, you can't. I took a vat of Novocaine. I thought if I get toothache, I'm sipping on that till I die. If I'm stuck here with nothing to do, I've got 8 records, I'm going to be sick of them.
That's the thing.
I'm looking at art, at least I'm looking at something,
What book would you take, Carl?
Well, I wouldn't take an art book anyway, I know that.
Right, okay,
Because
so come on in, one book.
You're going to get sick of it.
Right, one book. You can't get sick of art either.
You can.
Okay.
You can. You can have a brilliant picture on your wall, but eventually, remember what I've said to you, your eyes get bored of anything.
I don't remember him saying that. I think I blanked out. I think he came in one ear, straight out the other.
Well, that's why relationships break up, isn't it? Because the eyes get sick of looking at that other person, and you go, my eyes want to change. That's what it's all about.
Me eyes want to change. Okay, come
Sorry,
on,
love.
Fucking hell, choose a book to
I'd
take.
probably take a dictionary or something like
Oh,
that.
that's ridiculous. Why would you take a dictionary?
Just because I'm not that good with words.
But what do you want words for? You're not talking to anyone anymore. You don't have to worry about the vocabulary. You have to worry about...
But there'll be a lot of talking to yourself, probably. It'd be nice to sort of
so you're going to bring yourself up on your grammar, are they? You're talking to yourself and you go, oh, Carl, you're an idiot. You don't say it like that.
Well, if you've got to talk to yourself, it'd be nice to have...
Why are you talking to yourself, you maniac?
Because there's no one else about.
Yeah, but you don't open your mouth and actually verbally talk in order to talk.
But also, what does it matter if you've got a dictionary or not? Who's arguing with who?
Because sometimes I feel frustrated when I can't get my point across.
But it's just you!
Exactly,
you already
that's
know your
more
point.
annoying.
So-
Look how you're getting annoyed now. You're annoyed with me because I can't explain what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't want to be annoying myself.
Why would you be annoying yourself?
But you'll already understand your point. You don't need to vocalise
No,
it.
sometimes I think through what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I think, does that make sense? And sometimes I'll go, no, it doesn't. And I'll go, why is that? And then you're working it out in your head. Now, if I've got a better vocab, I'll have a good little chat.
What? With yourself?
If you're not keeping yourself interested in anything, your brain's going to turn to mush. Now, I
know how you feel.
I'm teaching my brain stuff, keeping it active. The only thing you've got on that island is your imagination and your thoughts. Now, if you can make those imaginations and thoughts better, which you do with language, you're going to have a better time, aren't you?
No, if you've had the thought, you've had the thought. You don't go, hold on, I'd have a thought here, but I can't think of the word.
You don't think in language in that same way, do you really? You think more conceptually.
When someone came up, guess what? I've just found the cure for... Oh, I can't think of the word. What? I've just worked out the cure for... I can't think of the word. Let's look it up. What is it? Cancer.
No, but just to think... Language is a powerful thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, he's run out of words.
This is what I'm saying. It's sometimes difficult for me to get my point across with what I mean.
Yeah, but that's fair enough if you're communicating, say, in this environment, and it's, dare I say it, perhaps a shame that you didn't read a dictionary before we started doing the broadcasting. But anyway, you've waited here on a desert island with no fucker around.
Well, no. Well, I think by then, by the time you get shipwrecked, there would probably be a few more entries to the dictionary. Grippage, foodage, rummaging, replenishing.
So what? All words are made up. Orange. One day someone went, what?
He's got a head like something.
It's got a head like a fucking what?
I don't even know what.
He's got a head like a fucking what?
And the other thing is, say if I am captured.
By who?
What?
By who?
By a boat, that's passive.
Why are you captured? You mean saved?
Alright, saved then, yeah.
Okay.
If I'm there you go again, you see. I went for captured instead of saved.
You're captured by some pirates.
Talking to anyone, Carl, in your head, it didn't matter. You knew what you meant. When you sat there on that desert island, you thought, oh, if I'm captured by a boat. They didn't come over and go, hi, Carl, we've come to save you. You wouldn't go, well, no, I don't want saving, I want capturing. I go, right, sorry, wait for the next boat. It didn't matter. You knew what you meant. You'd go, help, and you'd get on the boat.
Do you think in words that you don't use? You've only got yourself for company.
Yes, but
if you bore yourself, what's the point? What is the point, seriously?
But how are you going to... What, so you think you're going to read that dictionary and you're going to be better company because you're going to be impressing yourself with longer words. You're going to go...
If a boat passes and they go, there's a fella over there on that island, let's go and get him. Now, the way I am at the moment, they'd go, you all right? And I'd go, you what? And they go, oh, don't stop.
That's it! Imagine that!
Whereas if I sort of say something with a big word that I can't think of right now, they'll go, oh, who's that? He sounds like he knows his stuff.
Yoo-hoo! Anti-disestablishmentarianism!
Get him on this boat now!
We must have that wit!
All right, you get...
Come through.
But then I'm on the news and they go, oh, Carl, what was it like on the island? And I can start saying stuff.
It was scramfarious.
No, but then I think it makes it more interesting, whereas at this moment in time, I'd struggle telling them what it's like.
I like the idea of you trying to educate and better yourself.
I love the idea.
But do it now.
But there's so many other books. If I'm stuck with one...
Okay, the dictionary. You've got a dictionary. What's your luxury item? What's your luxury item? Quick. Let's get off this island. Come on.
What did you take for your luxury?
A vat of Novocaine.
Oh, yeah. Some Revels, a big sort of bag.
A big bag of Revels.
A big bag of Revels.
Just for variety.
Well, there's no variety particularly in Revels. They're all chocolate, aren't they?
No, all different. You've got orange ones, you've got coffee, caramel, Malteser. I mean, taking Novocaine isn't great, is it? If you don't get toothache, you'll be going, why don't they bring Revels?